Ladies and gentlemen, the moment you wait
from somewhere deep
this
in
isn't
the
the tech
cloud
bar.
and the corners of the
What's
earth,
that?
this is the Killing It podcast. With a
Mystery voice, that was a great intro, but we're here for the tech bar, and that's not how we do it. Come on, let's walk right over to the tech bar. I'll show you how to kill it in there. Ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've all been waiting for is finally here. The Tech Bar, featuring OG Sean, featuring Powerhouse Ray, and this week we have a full house with the Killing It podcast hosts, Ryan, Dave, and Karl of MSP Radio. My friends, get ready to have a fun night, and as always, grab your drinks. And let's get right into the show.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Tech Bar. Sean, is it just me, or are his drinks a little bit longer every intro? Have you noticed?
You know, I mean, I've been meaning to talk to you about Simon and his future. There probably has to be an intervention at some point because
I mean, we could have a 12-step program sponsored by the Tech Bar. I'm good with that.
I don't know. I feel like that's an oxymoron.
And there'll be tons of moronic shit tonight. But my friend, how you doing today?
Doing great. Getting through the day. It was a beautiful day here in Pittsburgh, 73. I got some sun. You know, I'm really focusing on my tan, getting ready for the beach.
You look a little darker. You look a little, what is that, cinnamon burnt? What is that?
It's more like Irish red.
And the snazzy shirt. I love the snazzy shirt, man. It's very nice, very chic.
You know what? It's my beach shirt. I did this for one of our guests today. But because I wanted to get in this beach mode because he has probably the best backdrops that there is. It makes me jealous every time I watch them. So I don't watch them often. I try not to because I get really annoyed by it. I'm very jealous.
So that's the thing, right? We don't have one guest. We don't have two guests. We have three guests, right? And I thought we were good on the Avengers episode we did over Christmas time. But why don't we bring up our guests? Because today we have Mr. Dave Sobel of MSP Radio. We have Mr. Ryan Morris and Mr. Karl Palachuk of I need to get Karl to my book of everything. Basically, the godfather of MSP. And if you guys don't know what these fine gentlemen have in common, they are the hosts of the Killing It podcast. That's right. So they decided to come visit us over in Mr. Lardo's neighborhood over at the Tech Bar and have some fun with us. How you doing tonight, gentlemen?
Really good. We did the podcast yesterday, so now we can hang out at the bar.
Yeah, right. This is the. I think the events are going to hopefully start to open up in person, and maybe we can do one of these live. But that's exactly what this is. This is and everyone here is a conference veteran in the MSP community. But we all miss the bar afterwards, right? After the sessions, after the events, having a blast. So I'm glad we could hang out at our Tech Bar.
Yeah, thanks for coming, guys.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for hosting.
I'm not sure what's gonna happen here today, but we're gonna drink and we're gonna try to catch up from a whole year of you guys not being able to do it. This is for you.
We were able to drink.
We didn't stop drinking for a year. We just stopped going to places.
We stopped drinking.
Stop drinking in public for a year. That's what it was. and as always, we have our sixth man on the field. We have Simon, right? Simon, there you go. He'll be joining us as needed.
and by the way, as you guys pointed out, that was a proper draw off of some Don Julio there.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, it takes him longer each time because he's going deeper into the bottle. He's actually taking a drink. So.
And these are not prop bottles. These are, he's hitting it hard every time. So.
They're not.
And speaking of giving props, I want to point out, we talked in the beginning, you guys have the famous intro, right? The Killing It podcast. And we were talking about how you guys do post-editing to make sure it's in sync. But I have to give kudos. You guys were pretty in sync when you were doing it.
It's
I
like
mean,
Pavlov's
you guys
dog,
practice
man.
that.
We know to hit that.
Carl keeps suggesting we should pre-record it and just use one that's actually.
Yeah, I'm
No.
like, I'm just go back to some old show and just stick that in each time, and we can skip it.
It's the
that's
messiness that
fun.
makes it real.
It's
So
wait,
what do we have
you
here?
guys- oh yeah, I see this. Yeah, it's drinking from
You
home.
know what I
agree,
want to
Mark.
talk about. You know what I want to talk about. The venerable Tony Francisco, who I've had the pleasure of seeing multiple times this week.
Guys, close your
Yeah.
eyes because this is going to get really like.
I mean,
personal
his
for them.
nuggets of wisdom, we have to put it out here now. He's saying this podcast is like a perfect cocktail of intelligence, humor, anxiety, and sexual tension. 33%, my friend. I literally went waiting for it.
There only became sexual tension when you posted that comment, Tony. Thank you. Because now Ray's like, I'm going to have to shut my screen off for a little bit. I'll be back, guys.
Tony
He's
brings
now you made it weird, Tony. You made it weird.
That's what he did. He always
That's
does.
our starting point.
It's
That's
like the Monty Python part where they say, but since the sexual attention only appears in this introduction, you're past it now.
there you go. I would love to say the worst is over, but anybody who's watched the Tech Bar more than once knows it just gets worse from here. So much worse.
It just
So, Simon, why don't you come on and tell us what the hell we're doing today, man?
All right, guys. So first, as always, we're gonna go into the drinks of the day. So Ryan, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you will be having today?
So just to get started with the with the openers of this, we're going to go Jack and ginger. Only clearly, I don't need to use nearly as much ginger ale as the professionals would suggest. So mine is much more Jack Daniels there. And then once things get a little bit more serious, we will switch over to a Balvenie. Now, I will say on your graphic there, that Balvenie 21, serious kudos right there. I'm only going 17, but it's still for when things get grown up.
Did we make you feel inadequate?
No, well, you know what? You only impressed me. That's the thing about a very good scotch is when you see one like that, you're not jealous. You're impressed.
Well, I think he's heard that we send swag out to the guests after the fact, and I think he's hinting at he'd like a 21.
I mean,
we'll absolutely get one. It's going to go to my house, but we'll get one for sure. All right, Simon, what do we got next, man?
We have Dave's and Karl drink of the day. So why don't you tell the guys what you guys will be having tonight?
Modelo? Hell no! So I will say I pivoted when the pandemic started. My local friends and I all committed that we were going to support the local beer store. That was good. Like we needed to keep the local beer stores open, and so I've been drinking like almost entirely beer for a year now. Like the occasional bottle of wine if Sharon and I are doing dinner. So tonight, the first is a Vanish Nitro Milk Stout. Is my first one. I don't screw around like on the beers. So that's that because I picked this up in a 4-pack from the local beer guy who was like, "Here's my sweet stouts collection for you to sample." Like, perfect, sold. So
I need to come see your friend.
We like there's even a network like locally. All my buddies and I, as we like sit outside the occasional times huddling. If somebody doesn't like a beer, they'll pass it off. So that we're swapping the beers that we may have sampled that didn't like. So I'm all like ridiculous beers for a year now. So that's
my Modelo is the dark. So just for the record.
Just for the record.
He wants to correct you on your Modelo.
I like Dave goes into this long story about the beer, and Carl's like, "No, I'm just drinking dark beer. I'm just
dark shitty beer." Like,
yeah, I'm drinking to drink like that. It's
I really why you're drinking beer. So I just drink it to drink it. So
for fun, but I will endorse Dave's milk stout. There, I as a long-term Colorado resident in the past, I will put a shout out to a Left Hand Nitro Milk Stout. If you've never had one of those,
I have.
That quite possibly the very best beer on planet Earth. So
that's
yours is in that neighborhood. So well done.
Agreed.
We have Mark Prawl saying, "Tony, how do we turn this podcast into a drinking game?" We will get there, Mark. Just you wait, sir.
Just
wait.
Yeah, no.
Anyway, Sean, what are you drinking?
That
Speaking of unencumbered drinking ability, Sean, what do you got tonight?
Oh, so I went with the Art. Well, I've never had this. I'm an Ardbeg 10 fan typically, but I found first time I've ever seen this Ardbeg 5 Wee Beastie. I'm gonna try that. So I'm trying it today. I just cracked it. And then I'm also drinking Parat Belgium ale because I love Belgians. I love Germans. I love everything over the other side of the pond, basically, that they serve. Yes,
I believe you love anything with an ABV, right? Is that basically what
basically? And I have my coffee because hold on, dreams come true.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. Anyway, oh shit, Kelvin's on, and I'm not going to give him the hard time of calling him Kevin because that's exactly what we do all day long. What's up, Kelvin from the Netherlands joining us, and the best of the dark beers. No question. I gave Dave shit because Dave has not been on. He was on our inaugural. Well, that's hard to say. He was on our first episode, and he has not been on for the last several episodes. I told him he had to get his ass on here today. So,
well, the only time he comes on is when we actually physically put him on, and when we physically put him on, by the time we put him on, he's already so hammered that when he starts speaking, it's more or less just gibberish. He's like, if you ever watched Bear Fest, when the dude comes out of the bathroom and he's got this the bear box on his head and he thinks he's smooth, like, hey, but meanwhile he's like, that's Dave.
Speaking of beer, can we get like a branded boot, you think?
Oh my God, Das Boot? Das Boot, yes, we should.
Boot, yeah, because you got to turn it when you at the end.
I learned
that's trick. You got to turn it at the end, or else it goes all right.
Yeah, I learned that, and I learned about grandmas and sausage. It was a whole thing. Great, and we got Drew. We have some fellows over from the MSP Geek community who I'm repping today with the tiniest logo on a hat ever. But we love our communities, and we don't give MSP Geek enough love. So I'm definitely showing up for them today. As far as my own drink, I'm drinking, since we have gentlemen of stature on the show. And then we have, Carl, Ryan, and Dave.
I was going to say,
since we have gentlemen of stature on the show, I'm drinking Old Forester Statesman. Anybody who knows me knows I love my bourbon, and very very excited to crack this one open today. So that's what we're doing. But we cannot jump to drinking, right, Sean?
We have to get the shot. We got to get this rolling. We're really taking way too long. We're like 12 minutes into this. We haven't had a drink. Well, some of us.
Oh, because this is the first one that we go off the rails, right?
Well,
but I'm just trying to get drinking.
So since you guys are like podcasters, like got great voices and shit, one of you can read the rules at a tech bar. They're listed there. You guys pick who wants to do it. Don't worry, Simon. Bringing it up for you. Look, for us old people.
Well, I'll start. We'll rotate. I'll start with number one. The bartenders are always right. That's true everywhere you go. The one lesson you learn: don't piss off the bartender. Right? Your turn will come when they point to you. Until then, shut the hell up and leave them alone.
I'm so glad I'm having you read this because you're totally adding color commentary to it, which is even better.
But I love this. It's fantastic.
All right.
That's serious rule for bar drinking.
All right, Ryan, you want to go?
Number 2, no politics or religion at the bar.
True that, yo.
Yeah, why would you want to cause that trouble? All right, number
everybody has their opinion. We give zero fucks about any of them. So, what's the next one?
All right, if you hear these 3 words or these words, you drink. Number 1, namaste. So you must drink for namaste.
I heard it.
Number 2, unprecedented, which I hate anyway. So that's totally cool. I'm fine with that one. And our 3rd, you must drink when someone says the new norm. Yeah, I don't like that one either. These are easy.
Yeah, and that's the more you drink, the better they sound. So
basically, if you think about it, the 2nd and 3rd words, everybody's so tired of hearing because everything is unprecedented. It's amazing how many unprecedented things we've watched every day. The new norm, I'm tired of people talking about that shit. Yeah, those are drinking words, by the way, if you forgot.
Oh. Plus we had that debate on killing it at least once. Like we debated over the whole like which is the right terminology for it.
Right.
Absolutely.
And then
and I want to point out, Mark, you asked for your drinking game. This is not just for us. You guys better be drinking at home too.
Right, exactly.
Right. Put your faces on, girls. And then the word namaste was brought up by Dave. It's the only really good contribution he's ever made to our show. And that was basically means go fuck yourself.
A nice way of saying it. Absolutely. Mark, you want to kill off Carl, you want to kill off the last 3 men?
Sure. Sports are on 24/7. Number 5, what happens at the bar stays at the bar.
Except it's on YouTube.
It's true.
It's on YouTube.
Right. Exactly.
And
The
Facebook.
wide world is the bar.
I've had shit that happened at the bar that's still on YouTube. So
Right.
number 6, if the bartender's wrong, see rule number 1. You got that right.
Listen, there's only 208 people watching. Nobody, and this is only sort of recorded, so don't worry about it. It's not a big deal.
It's all recorded.
Please
I
I
agree
don't
with
even
Mark
remember anything
Hall.
live. We don't know the rules.
One of my
Listen.
uncle's favorite jokes is, I'm not going to drink anymore, but I'm not going to drink any less.
There you go.
That's a very valuable lesson. It's about moderation, right, and pacing yourself. So I see logic in
Yeah.
that.
You don't want to end up in a closet. Listen, nothing will be worse than the episode where afterwards I ended up in the closet crying about my dog. So the bar has been set.
Holy right now. Like,
Yeah. We're
we
good.
get into actual
We're good.
topics.
Yeah. No, we don't do topics here. We don't do any of that.
We
Only
tried to do
sort of
topics. It doesn't work out. Topics are only
Yeah.
good for about a good segue. It's kind of like the whole, Carl reading the rules. There's a good one line, and then it just leads to a story of nothingness ultimately.
But I
That's
like
not
the
laughing,
whole
I like-
Bob Euchre thing of commenting on the. I love that. I mean,
That's
why?
that's Killing It. If you want Dave rants on things, you go listen to Killing It. This
Right.
thing. Like,
So that's the thing, though, right? Killing It. You guys do like 10-minute. What is it? 10-minute spots per topic.
Yeah, 3 times.
And so here we try to stick to at least an episode per topic. we have no rails whatsoever, but we have a touch of class, and with the touch of class, we have we have our own toast every episode. So, gentlemen, if you'd raise your glasses to another day, another bender, no retreat, no fucking surrender. Namaste, my friends.
okay.
Namaste.
Drink twice.
I love that
Or a
movie.
bigger drink.
So I was told, I as a gentleman of significant size, right? I'm a big dude. I have the added bonus that I can drink a significant amount and have a good time, and I can last. I was told specifically that Karl would drink all of us under the table. So and I'm not one not to rise to an occasion. I absolutely, if the challenge is thrown, the gauntlet's thrown down, I'm in. Challenge accepted.
Well, that's why I drink beer, to be honest, because it's hard for me to get ahead of the beer, right? Or for the beer to get ahead of me. Whiskey,
Yeah.
I can just go good, like it was beer, and then I go to sleep. So, I have to drink whiskey very slowly.
So what we're trying to say is we can only drink beer. Should we put a nipple on the tip of that bottle too while we're at it, Carl?
Ooh.
Now we're back to sexual tension.
Right. Well, I know we already,
That
as
was-
you mentioned, we've already started.
Mad that I keep them
Hey,
with
let
me?
us just say
Is
this
it-
is years of experience of doing these many late nights in all of these conference bars. We all have like long lists of these are the way that I
Well,
manage
and it
those
helps to have
situations.
experience at high elevation, sea level,
Mhm.
below
Agreed.
sea level, beaches, mountains, different countries, different parts of the world. You
So you're saying
gotta
the
work
terrain
into
helps,
it.
right? Okay, I can accept that.
That was my superpower all those years, was that I lived in Denver, and at a mile high you acclimate to how the alcohol affects you. And when you do conferences up at the ski resorts in the mountain at 10,000 feet elevation, the average rookie from sea level, 2 beers and they need a piggyback back to their hotel room.
That true story.
We learned to drink at altitude, and then you come back down to sea level and you're like a superhero.
I want to call out Danny's saying, the closet begs to differ. I got Drew giving me shit coming out of the closet, which I don't know if that's about the episode or about something else, but fuck it, 33% with Tony, fuck yeah. But here's the thing, though, even Superman faltered a little bit, even Batman faltered a little bit. You can be a superhero and still have moments like the closet. It happens. All right.
It happens.
The point is, just like in Batman, Christopher Nolan's Batman, why do we fall? So we can get up again in these unprecedented times.
You're not even trying to make yourself a superhero out of it. You were in the closet having an intimate moment with your dog, crying to it, this little dog. That's what you were doing. There was nothing.
Listen, my dog's very important to me. Those who have pets understand what it is to have a pet. It's a loved
See,
one.
but that's another important angle to the story there. If it was a big German Shepherd, great big burly dog, that's okay. I understand that. But if this was like something you could carry in a purse,
It's in his it's in his purse right now.
a
It's in
much
his purse.
deeper
I'm getting
story.
the feeling Ryan's done a little bit of homework, and I'm a little concerned. Listen, Bella is 4.5 pounds. She's a 4.5 pound Yorkie, but she's an attack dog. I will, not
Yeah.
not
With little teeth, with little attack
yes.
teeth.
I'm not saying she's good at it. I'm
Take out
saying
your
she's an
ankle.
attack dog. Listen, we don't knock really short people here, right, Simon? Exactly. So, she's a short attack dog. It is what it is.
No.
Yeah, exactly. My ankles are worried.
Right? My shoelaces have been chewed off. Thank you, dog. I mean, that's it. Yeah, no, and really the only reason why we know the story that happened is because Ray's wife totally told on him the next day.
Okay,
Like-
that's the hard part, right? We have our 8:30 stand up, the entire company wide, and Sean and I and Simon, regardless of what happens, and we have the after show, and we've gone till like 3 a.m. sometimes. We're still there, ready to rock and roll at the stand up. The problem is I have witnesses at the stand up. So even though I have my face on and I'm like battle ready, my wife sometimes spills the beans.
It was awesome. She said that he fell in the closet, and then she said, and then he was talking to the dog, and then I was like, did he cry? She's like,
but hold on. Can we pause here? Why did you go straight to crying though?
Because I just had a feeling.
You've been there in that situation.
Oh, don't try to put this on. No, don't start trying to deflect, dude.
Because you could have been
You're
like,
deflecting.
he fell in the closet. Did he hurt himself? No, you went straight to crying.
No, because she would have said he got hurt in the closet if that was the case. She didn't say that. She said you fell in the closet and stayed there. So therefore you weren't hurt. So we could eliminate that. And I just had a feeling based off the look on your face, which looked very sorrowful, like, oh my God, here it comes. And I said, did he cry? That was my question. And she just very candidly and dry was like, yes.
Do you
Like
guys
nothing
need a
else.
marriage counselor? Do you guys need a moment to work this all out?
Should we leave you alone?
Oh,
I feel
Sean's like
pretty
my
good
work wife, without question. There's no absolutely no question.
I feel pretty good about this conversation. I'm good. We can carry on. Move on to the next one.
No, I'm good. It's not all about us. It's about Dave and Karl and Ryan. And so I don't know. How do you want to do this? Because normally we give our guest their 30 seconds to talk about themselves. I mean, we have basically like 3/5 of a basketball team here.
Right. And their talking ability is like 7 basketball teams.
Yeah,
So
our 30-second pitch is generally 2.5 minutes long.
2.5 minutes long. All right. It's
about
It's a
all
long
that
elevator
time, as much as they give me to like cut my mic
Right.
off.
All right. So why don't we do this? Why don't Sean and I get off? You guys are professionals, and I mean that in the loosest way possible. But you guys are professionals. We'll leave the 3 of you on. You have your 30 seconds to pitch
Say what you
MSP Radio, your managed services in a book, 19th edition, your speaking engagements, your Killing It podcast. Do what you do. Sean and I will get the fuck off. That work for you, Sean?
I mentioned it all. I'm not sure what's left.
yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Ray,
but they want to hear from like a,
good
somebody
luck
of
talking
note.
about your pitch that Ray just stole from you. Good luck. I'll see you in a minute.
I think
Well,
we
this
should
is good.
introduce each other.
I know, and we don't have a script, boys. Like we didn't write up a pre-script on this. So,
Right.
Karl, kick us off. Quick moment or two about what you are up to and how people can get in touch with you.
So I was born in a small log cabin that I helped my father build.
You like long walks by the river.
Karl was failing miserably right
I built and sold a couple of managed service businesses in Sacramento, California. Then I wrote some books, and now I do everything that I can to help other people to be successful in this business. And you can find it all at smallbizthoughts.com or smallbizthoughts.org.
Ryan,
How about that?
yeah, keep it tight, Ryan.
30 seconds. Let me tell you my life story. So, been in this business for about 25 years, all of it in the channel, all of it selling technology, about 17 years building, selling, and managing managed services practices. And like Karl said, we're here to figure out what works and what doesn't work and where we should go from here. You'll find me on the Killing It podcast, but also morrismp.com is the website. Ryan Morris 303 on Twitter and such. I'm not the most vocal person on social media, but occasionally I'll drop in there. So look me up.
Awesome. And look at you with the socials, man. Nice work.
Yeah.
Nice work. So I'm Dave Sobel.
Awesome.
People know I ran an MSP for about a decade here in DC Metro. did a bunch of stuff, did peer groups and CompTIA and all that kind of stuff. Sold that business, worked for a vendor that we don't talk much about anymore, Level Platforms. I was there for 2 years. Worked with Dan Wensley and Rob Ray. And then when we sold that business to AVG, I went to this company nobody hears about anymore that became, it was GFI, Logic now, and then SolarWinds. Anybody know them? They've not been in any news at all. No one hears about them. And I left there about a year and a half ago to branch out and to be an obnoxious radio disc jockey and do podcasts with these guys, as well as my daily show, The Business of Tech, which is a 5-minute news and commentary podcast, and now a weekly video show. And you can get links to all of my stuff at mspradio.com. So that's the
I think you should have a shirt that says "Proud Gadfly."
That will be the next thing in the merch store. Like I got the new merch, and that'll be the next.
Do you have a merch store? Is there one for real?
Yeah, we're not kidding. This is how you know Dave is for real. Dave's Pod.
Okay.
Dave's Pod has an actual merch store. That's how you know.
You want the Why Do We Care T-shirts? They are on sale at
I just noticed. Absolutely.
Business of Tech. Is that what that is?
Business of Tech for mspradio.com. You can catch all the merch. We've got it in aprons and mugs and shirts and stickers, everything you could possibly want.
Sean, is it just me, or did you feel like Ryan was going to go into a rap or something? Like he looked like he was ready to spit, right? Like
I got rhythm.
I don't know if
let's
you want to go,
let's not push it right. I mean, you have Tourette's maybe,
Yes.
or
Yes.
epilepsy, because that movement was like something was happening that wasn't supposed to be.
That's much
He
more likely.
likes to be on stage. He wants to be on a stage and move around. So he's stuck in the little video.
If there was 500 people in this room and I was speaking to the back of the room, these gestures would perfectly make sense. On the video box, my hand coming up the face might be a little bit interpersonal. So just tell
as somebody with animated limbs, there's nothing wrong with moving your hands while you're talking. And Simon, you want to show off some of our merch? You're wearing something too, right?
So this
At
is
shop.oit.co.
our Tech Bar Tavern shirt. You guys could get it. Hold on. At shop.oit.co.
There you go.
Nice.
And you heard it from Dave Sobel. If you got merch, you're legit. So, and we just put up baby clothes recently, right? For HR 2020.
So
We're not catering to my
Earlier
granddaughter.
today, Dave sent us a link, said, "Hey, my store is up. Here's what it looks like." Da, 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 da. And I said, "Hey, looks great." And I CC'd my web developer. And I'm like, "Hey, I just want to make sure Kara sees this." And Dave's like, "Yeah, she built the store." Like,
so speaking of promotions, it's not just about us, because why stop at 5 or 6 when you can add 12? Right. Simon, who else do we have on here today?
All right, guys. So we have one special guest who will be jumping on. He will be our featured guest on the next episode. But here today, he's going to discuss about an upcoming event that we will be a part of and sponsoring. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Matt Solomon of ID Agent.
Oh, that's crazy.
Hey, Matt. What's up, Matt? How you doing, buddy?
Good, man. How's it going?
Good, man. So I was on your live stream. What was it, like a week ago, right? At this point?
Yep.
Yeah. And so now you're on ours. Karl, Ryan, Dave, if you don't mind, I'm going to kick you off real quick. Give Matt some personal time with us. So we have something very awesome coming up, right, Matt?
Yes.
You want to share with our audience? You want to tell us what's going on?
Yeah. So we've teamed together with, I don't know, over 15 vendors, I think, at this point, for MVP Growth Fest, part 2 or 2021 version of it. Last year, we had Magic Johnson as our keynote. This year, we're super excited. We have Wayne Gretzky, and the response has been unbelievable. I mean, we just went over 800 registrations today, and that's only in a couple days, and that's probably with 90% of the sponsors not even putting it out there yet. So, and you guys are doing something, and there's a couple other things I'll mention about, but you guys are doing something really cool, and I see you kind of put it up there, and we actually selected our winner today. And I don't know if you guys have decided how many people are you opening it up the contest?
We're going to do, of the first 200 registrants, we're going to pick somebody.
Yep.
And when you register, make sure you submit your question. But of the first 200 registrants, we're going to pick somebody to go ahead and tell them, Matt.
To ask Wayne Gretzky a question live on the event. So the only precursors, you have to be an MSP. You have to be able to make it live. You do have to submit your question in advance, of course, just for approval. But you are going to come up there. We're going to stream you into the Zoom, and you get to ask the question directly to the great one. So
how awesome is that? So go ahead and register. The link's down below. Matt, I know you came on specifically just so you could help us promote this. Thank you so much, man. We appreciate you, and we are so looking forward to this event. It's April 20th, right?
April 20th. And Ray, can I just mention 2 other things about the event real quick?
Man, go for it.
One, so it's not just about Wayne Gretzky, though. That's going to be obviously incredible. But we've got 4 all-star panels. Ray, you're going to be on one of them. I think we have, of the 14 panelists, 10 are CEO founders in the vendor space. And we've got amazing moderators that are, most of them are actually either MSPs or former MSPs. So really asking the right questions that MSPs will be interested in. So each panel will kind of have its own, category that they're going to be talking about. Yours will be about differentiating yourselves. The other thing, every dollar that went into this event went back into the event, which allowed us to offer $15,000 in cash and prizes. So I think we're giving away about $5,000 in cash, and the rest went to signed Wayne Gretzky memorabilia. Like the example behind me, I have a Stanley Cup signed by Wayne Gretzky behind me.
So do we agree that you're going to give that away, or you're going to send that to me, right? You're going to send that to the special
Sean likes hockey.
So originally I thought this was a desktop Stanley Cup. It turned out it's about 2 feet big, and I decided I loved it so much that I'm going to pay for that one out of my own pocket. But we're giving away 2 signed jerseys, a Rangers and an Oilers jersey, 2 or 3 different pucks, Rangers and Oilers, and then a framed Wayne Gretzky photo. So it's really an event for all MSPs. And by the way, I also have merchandise. I'm kind of joking, but Ideation has these Baby Yoda merchants. You guys were all talking merch. So
I love that. Yeah, man.
People go nuts.
Absolutely. We got to do like a vendor merch swap one day and just like go nuts.
Yeah.
I will say we did the pregame or the prep for our panel, and I'm sure all the panels will be phenomenal. But I will tell you, just our prep for the panel I'm on, we were just talking, and the conversation was so good. We were like, why didn't we just record this and play this? We had such a good time. I can't wait to add MSPs to the mix and letting them, and interacting with them. But it's going to be an awesome panel for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you guys for having me on, and thank you for supporting the event, because again, like we said, Ideation didn't profit $1 off of this event. Every dollar went right back to give back to the MSPs.
Yeah, talk about contributing back to the community. I love that. All right, Matt. Well, thanks so much, man. I'm sure I'll be seeing you around, and here's to the unprecedented times, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll see you guys on August 8th. I'm your guest. I'm one of your guests.
Oh, that's right. Coming up. Yeah, Simon, why didn't you say anything, man?
April.
Not exactly.
April.
April 8th.
April 8th. Yeah, and I'm bringing some friends with me, so we'll have a good time.
Oh, that's going to be a good time. Looking forward to it, man. All right, cool. Take care, dude.
All right, thanks.
See you, Matt. All right.
All right.
So just for the record, I have merch too, but I call it managed services in a month, cloud services in a month, service agreements for SMB consultants.
Carl
has merch that can be found on Amazon, right?
I have actual
OG merch.
Yeah.
Carl felt left out.
One of Dave's mugs. These are freaking awesome. Just so you know.
No, and I will tell you, like I was, fangirling out. I was like, let me grab my book, because of course I have several copies of managed services a month, and I have them. But since I'm working from home, all my stuff is in my bookcase in my office, and so like I'm looking around, and I have my drawer here, and I have my bookshelf, and I'm one of those crazy people that actually has like a separate office that I haven't seen in the last year, and of course the book's over there. But I'm sure we will see each other at a future conference, so we can take some pics and get signatures.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you guys have plans for any physical conferences yet? I mean, I know there's the only ones we've seen that are legitimate physical are the end of the year. They're the only ones that really.
This is the whole spectrum. So Carl has real plans, right?
I have airplane tickets and real plans. So, assuming I can get a shot, in the next few weeks, and other people's countries will let me in, I'm hoping to go to Canada in May and do a 3-city roadshow. If I can't do that, I will do Canada in September, and I'm hoping to get to the UK in August. So again, all that has to do with how many people get shots and how many governments allow Americans to actually travel. I think Berlin is off the books for this year, but we shall see.
Oh, there you go.
We got Matt saying, yeah, he's saying boot camp's going in person in May.
See, we've been having this conversation among the three of us for a long time. So Karl is aggressively putting a calendar, putting that into the universe. He's going to make it happen. Dave is on the end of the spectrum of, yeah, only if it's a really cool event. My answer is, if you pay me, I will get on an airplane.
Like, there's totally this spectrum, because it's so true. Like, Karl's like the most eager to like do shows and be back. Ryan is like closer to him, and I'm distinctly on the other end where I'm just because look, I'm not a vendor anymore, and I'm not an MSP, and I'm just off on my own, and I literally get to pick and choose, like, how do I want to spend my time? And so I'm in just this other bit where it's like, I'm going to go to the stuff I want to go to or have some actual reason to do, but I got off the treadmill. I don't have to step back on.
So I want to ask you that, though. So like you're in that space, right? We all have our labels and stuff like that. You're not a vendor anymore. What do you consider yourself?
I'm an analyst.
Like, if you had to label,
I'm an analyst and a journalist. Like, I am far closer to Joe Panettiere than any other description.
And you say that on purpose. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, no,
I got nothing against Joe. I'm just giving.
Well, but like Joe's a raw journalist. Like, but I'm more an analyst because I have opinions and editorial, and I think that's why I describe it much more as an analyst. Although I'm trying to emulate the journalism angle of it, particularly with what I do, and that's why there's a separation between like, here's the fact reporting stuff versus what I do from an opinion perspective.
Sean, do you have any titles you prefer to go by?
I'm sorry, are you talking to me?
Sean, do you have any titles you prefer to go by?
There's a few. It depends on,
my title.
Another hour, I'll let you know what that is.
Yeah, the only title I ever use is just host of Business of Tech. Like, it is literally the only title I ever use anymore.
Well, I go by fucking awesome or MasterCard and Visa and American Express. So.
That's a good. Those are good titles.
And to these new norm and unprecedented times, and now I'm really behind. Yeah. I'm on my third refill. Drew was calling me out already.
Well, when it comes to titles, like, I've been preferring Galactic Ticket Inspector. So
there you go. There you go. I always got my file with me
in a while.
I think for me, it really depends on who is actually talking about me. If it's my ex-wife, she has her own titles for me. I make my kids, I make them call me like, well, actually,
sir,
I make them call me like Superman. I'm also like the boss, or they're like, here comes that annoying guy. That's any one of those titles.
Dad is a really great title. Like, that's a really like good thing to be called.
It depends on the context,
they don't call it.
They don't
want to trust me. They call me dad to my face, and then behind my back, it's a different conversation.
Okay, so for those of us that are parents, do you not, based on the intonation of dad, can you not tell a mile away if it's going to be an asking for something dad, or if it's going to be a I screwed up something dad?
They're asking for something, dad.
Yeah, that's exactly where I was going. Is there's dad, and then there's dad, and when it gets multiple syllables, you're like, "Where's my wallet?"
Yeah. And then there's always the short dad. Like that's like, you're embarrassing me. Like,
I hear that one the most.
Well, we have some pictures of you we'll put up later. I don't know if any of you other gentlemen have ever been in a full dinosaur costume walking down the streets of Pittsburgh. Sean's daughters, and he has $92, by the way. Sean's daughters,
bad math.
They have very good reason to be ashamed, not ashamed, to be mortified.
Oh no! And actually, I don't. So for all the people out watching that have children that they're doing virtual schooling, we all know that it's been difficult. And I thought my kid was the only one that was missing homework assignments. I found that every kid is missing homework assignments. Right. So, but the other day I told my daughter, I'm like, if you do this again, I'm showing up in my unicorn costume at your school waiting for you, and I will hand out flyers and I will chase you. I don't care. And she was like, and if she tried to call my bluff, she was like, oh, okay, cool. And I was like, and then my oldest daughter was like, he will. And she got real nervous. Yeah. And I was like, I swear to God, go ahead. What can happen? What's the worst that can happen? You'll be embarrassed in front of everybody. And then she was like, but I'll never even get a boyfriend. I said, exactly. You will never get a boyfriend. I will do it the rest of my life.
There's great value in that as a father.
Yeah.
Yes.
You have to have that fear of God in you. Absolutely. And speaking of embarrassing moments, or I don't know, maybe moments of happiness and I'm 3 glasses in. I'm not going to make up words at this point, but let's talk about Sean's history. I know we have very experienced people on this panel with a ton of experience, some education. But Sean, let's talk about your education. Simon, you have some picks there you want to bring up here?
Yeah. So actually, Dave actually went to the school that Sean graduated from. Dave, we heard that you actually lectured at Hamburger University. Is that true or false?
That is a true statement. It is in fact one of my list of life accomplishments in that I got to lecture at Hamburger University.
I should have remembered that.
And it's awesome, right?
It is totally awesome. The creepy McArt all throughout the facility.
Oh my God, greatest art anywhere.
It is so ridiculous. This was an MSP event, a decade ago now?
Yeah, it's 10 or 12 years ago.
Something like that. Yeah. And it was hosted at Hamburger U, and it was this is the coolest thing ever. I'm getting to lecture at Hamburger University. I'm totally
one of my favorite pictures, by the way, of all time.
It is a great picture of us. And
I love how nobody's drinking from glasses. It's straight from the bottle.
oh, totally. Of course.
Did you also light a trash can on fire and sing a cappella or what? That's what typically happens, right?
Well, we consider
it was
Sean's dying to join an a cappella group, just so you know. He's just
I so
Jan
want to.
Spring did a thing, and then she borrowed my projector so she could throw a party, get everybody drunk, and then do a short slideshow. And then she sent Nancy out. They went and bought $70 worth of beer and about $300 worth of booze, and they had a major party when everything else was done. So that was a great event.
That was a really good event.
Yeah,
Did you learn the Big Mac song?
I was there. I was at Hamburger U. I worked for McDonald's Corporation in a previous life.
That was my first job in high school was McDonald's. So it was kind of fun also to go to Silka and then be a lecturer, lecturer. I mean, I wasn't official, but you know what I meant. It's I got to teach class at Hamburger University. How cool is that?
Look at you, I'm so proud of you. I went there for school.
That's awesome. I was literally laughing it is one of the things that I always tick off of my accomplishments is I got to lecture at Hamburger University. I was a teacher.
I never thought of it in those terms, but now I'm going to say that from now on.
It's totally true. And people look at you and you're like, what? I'm like, well, it was a conference, but but you can totally start off with I was a lecturer at Hamburger University.
One of the greatest organizations in the history of businesses, you were there.
Right. From a business perspective, they're amazing. You can learn so much just from studying them.
Oh my God! Right? If you want to be an MSP, go work at McDonald's first, so you can get an idea of processes. Because they have.
You want to learn process? Spend a couple of days working at McDonald's. You'll totally understand the value of process.
Is that the problem? That I went to work at Wendy's and it's the upside down double golden arches, and that's why I'm all confused.
Correct. Yeah, they don't even know how to salt the fries. They don't know how to salt the fries right.
But you know who knows? You know who knows how to salt fries? McCloudy. That's who knows how to salt fries. I'm just saying. So, McCloudy was also a storied professor. I think he's tenured at Hamburger U. Yeah, this is as close as we could get without getting a takedown notice. So, it is what it is.
I know. We don't get shut down again. Anyway, so that was 12 years ago.
Yeah, that was.
If I was trying to play, I think it's 2009, so I think it's longer than we think. Are you either 2008 or 2009 for that show?
And I will say my very first event on staff at iPad in the way back in 2005 was actually at Hamburger U. I was in Denver. Everybody was all over the country. That was our very first event. I had joined a month prior, but that was the first get on an airplane and go do a speaking gig. And so I was very impressed with that whole facility. I don't think the attendees were, because we didn't serve McDonald's food for the breakout. Literally, you go through the after event survey Was the content good? Nobody answered the question. Was this valuable to your business? Nobody answered. What else would you like to say? The chairs were hard and there was no fries. Because that's why you go to a conference.
Nobody remembers anything about events other than was the party any good and was the food any good. It's all
Yeah,
anybody ever remembers about any of these events.
Absolutely. See, I would say
Do you remember much about the conference sometimes? I mean, there's sometimes I went to conferences, I don't remember the conference.
I know. See,
Well,
that's
the room
thing,
is
right?
cold. You get that all the time.
That's
Yeah,
true. Room is cold.
one of the best conferences we did years ago was actually out in DC at the Marriott right by Dulles, and their afternoon snack breaks were red vines and like movie theater buttered popcorn and actual like full-size boxes of Milk Duds. I was like, I'll come back and do an event at your hotel every week.
I think I've been there actually.
Yeah, that's that West. I've been there a bunch of times because it's local too. So like I've been there for local stuff too.
Priorities.
What area is that in? What area is that? Is that like Reston or is that?
Yeah, it's Reston Chantilly right by the airport.
Yeah, that's I went there for a Red Hat conference for their partner conference.
Yeah, it's that it was the Westlands Marriott. I think it got sold off. I think it's now not a Marriott anymore. But
I think Mark called it right. He said, "Remember that event when we went to the bars?
Yeah, that one time. That city that one time at that one place.
With the guy
with those unprecedented times." Absolutely.
That
I agree.
that one thing happened.
Yeah, that was
about.
unprecedented again. So that's 2 for everybody.
Would you say that was a new norm? Would you say?
Yes,
That was the old norm. That was the old norm.
There you go. So, I want to ask Sean. Did Hamburger U have a frat? I thought it did. There was a fraternity at Hamburger U. Yes.
Well, yes. The answer is yes. Yes, there was a fraternity. Only the craziest people.
Simon, this is called the segue. Simon, this is killing me, Simon.
Simon, need a picture of the
Simon, you're killing me, dude.
You want to go ahead and talk about it, Sean?
It's like the SpongeBob SquarePants 2 hours later or 2 weeks later.
2 hours later. Thanks, Simon. You were doing great. Well, Simon couldn't reach the keyboard, dude.
nice graphics, by the way.
We put a lot of work into it. Yeah.
Well, the size of your head, it's obvious.
Yeah, Simon. Seriously, Simon. All right, like the size of my head on these graphics are freaking killing me, dude. Like,
It's awesome.
it's fucking
It takes up the
Photoshop.
whole
Just make it a
screen.
little
The whole
smaller.
screen.
I think it's accurate.
Right? I love that they added the hair because that is not my hair, but no time spent whatsoever on that.
I can tell by looking at the faces on these screens that each of us is familiar with the idea of an extra large size baseball hat, right? It's like we go to the events. We did a conference with a client down in Dallas, and at the event afterwards, there was dinner, there was drinking, and because it was Dallas, they did a custom fitting of a Stetson cowboy hat. Everybody lines up. Oh, this is great. This is a jacket you're going to want to take home, right? Except when I get to the front and they do the fitting and they're like, so we don't have any here that are as big as your head. So we're going to have to try to send you one. And I was like, cool. That's that makes a person feel awesome. Thank you.
That makes you feel great. Exactly. Your head is
Nice.
swollen hard.
Speaking of feeling great, I have my mother-in-law in the audience. Hi, Mom. How you doing?
That's why I brought her comment up. I want to make sure everybody knew that. I want to make sure everybody knows Ray's mother-in-law's on. She's awesome. She doesn't even pass judgment on it, which is amazing.
No, not at all. No, absolutely not at all. And I like that. I like Mark's asking whose legs are those. I think those are Simon's legs at the top. I'm not 100% certain.
Well, I don't know. It's like they were doing some calf raises on there. I watched Simon at the gym. He doesn't have those kind of calves. Just letting you know.
Do we want to talk about that? That Simon went to Pittsburgh and
Simon
completely fell apart.
So Simon never had. He's been on 2 flights in his entire life. The second one was from Columbia to Miami when he moved there as a kid. His second flight was coming to Pittsburgh. I'm like, and we talked about it for like a few months back. I was like, you should just come.
I hate to tell you, that would be 3 flights because he did come home.
Well, that was the second flight at that time. I'm doing in chronological order.
Simon, help me out here, man. Thank you.
Second flight
all right,
going to Pittsburgh. Yeah, thanks, Simon. You did great. And he actually, it was St. Patrick's weekend. So you have Simon, that's all 5'1", little Colombian kid, comes to Pittsburgh for St. Patrick's Day, and also it was my birthday over that weekend. So we had like 20 people, and mind you, Miami 80 degrees, Pittsburgh it was 55 on that Saturday, nice and sunny. It was a beautiful day. So we're outside in shorts and t-shirt. He's got 4 coats on, and he's trying to play cornhole, and he's freezing his ass off. So we're like, just do another shot. Just do another shot, So literally he
So when you do shots, do you say stuff like namaste?
Yes. Actually, we have more colorful commentary.
Doesn't take
I
long.
gotta call out. I have to call out in chat when I'm refilling because Drew was giving me shit, saying my glass gets fuller, not emptier. It's because I'm refilling between unprecedented times. So
You're not forcing those at all. They're not forced at all.
No, you know what though? I listen. It's not Carl's fault, but somebody threw down the gauntlet for Carl. So if I can finish this episode with somebody dancing on a table, it's a win for me.
Well,
I didn't realize there was going to be.
I remember
Simon.
some of the vendors actually playing the game where like we throw in a word and you'd have to work it into your presentation, like over the like just find.
Oh, we would do that.
Can we?
So
Can
we're
we just show
notorious for
that
doing
video
that
though?
in
By the
Discord.
way, you were talking about dancing on the table.
Yeah, real quick. We're notorious for doing that in Discord. We're like during the Huntress like Tradecraft Tuesdays, we'll throw out words and make the Huntress team like say it. And we've gotten Kyle to say like flugelhorn and like random shit like dangling chandelier. But he gets to make that shit up. But we do have some special video, Sean, if you want to.
Well, I just figured you were talking about dancing on a bar and stuff. This was Simon 3 hours into being in Pittsburgh.
He's not cold at all.
Not at all.
He was, look, this is like the main strip down the street from my house, and people are looking at us like, what the hell is going on? There's this little leprechaun kid walking through the street.
And you're like, business trip. It's a total business trip.
This is a write-off.
Oh, absolutely.
It's very professional.
Yeah, and that's us at the brewery having drinks.
And there's
My
our
buddy
Matt
owns the
Connolly.
brewery.
Save the leprechaun.
Well, we were there. So my buddy owns the brewery, and I was like, hey, I need to just come in there for a few minutes to take a video. He served us beers. He opened up. They weren't even open yet. He opened it for us. He's like, I'm just going to do my stuff in the back. And him and his employees are preparing for the day. And the one guy was like looking, I was like, what the fuck is going on? And then there's Simon, all 4'1" of them.
That's right, Eric. He was there for work, damn it. Absolutely.
It's a business trip. Write that all off.
And I love Simon because Simon, who just actually Tuesday celebrated a year with us. He started right as the pandemic started. We actually decided to work from home the same week he was supposed to start. And we were like, can you just keep working at your old place and we'll bring you back later? And he's like, no. So like, okay, you're not stepping foot in the office. And he didn't step foot in the office for like 8 months. So he still works from home to this day. But yeah, God bless Simon. We say, Simon, we're going to do this. We're going to get you an elf costume. He's like, okay, here's my size. Like that's the entire conversation.
Team player.
Team player. Absolutely.
Oh,
unprecedented.
God, yes.
All hail the new norm.
Hey, I tell you, I just want
there you go.
not to work too much. Atlassian just said that 1/4 of their staff has never been in an office because they've hired them since they've been growing. It was
well, that was the beautiful part, right? Like we already had Sean and Matt and Kevin, who was with us before. They're out of Pittsburgh. They were with us before this whole thing started, before this new norm started, and and then we brought Simon and Danilo, and they were working remotely. We had our devs that were in Miami but working remotely. We had a choice, and then we just started hiring outside the office. We brought in guys in North Carolina and Nevada and Toronto, and it's just been our thing now. Now we just hire out of the office. It's great.
Why not? Yeah, why not?
Yep.
Yeah.
See, that's the magic. It's not just fun to work from home. It's now you don't have to settle for the best guy who happens to be in your town and looking for a job. You find the best human being anywhere on the planet.
We found these phenomenal guys that are in North Carolina we never would have found otherwise. And same thing for Nevada and Toronto. And it's like, now we get to hire wherever, it's fantastic.
And look, and here's an on point. Here's Geraldo Rivera talking.
Actually, Geraldo's in Brazil. Speaking of out of the office, he's one of our devs in Brazil. Like, we are intercontinental. Yeah.
Yes, we did. I mean, but I think what we've seen for all of us actually on here, I've worked from everywhere for years. So, airplanes, at the airport, the hotel, Starbucks.
But that's because nobody wanted you around. They were like,
Well,
leave.
That's naming my children, right? So when this all went down, it was nothing new for me as far as work was considered. But I didn't realize how challenging it would be for the rest of the world to make it happen. Like it was like people were just by themselves with it, you know.
As a used to be regular feature of our Killing It podcast, we used to begin every show by saying,
I'm just going to do that now.
Where are you guys? Where are you this week when we're recording the thing?
Right.
We're in Scotland. We're in Australia. That was normal. The three of us, the four corners of the world, right? And we've always joked for years. It's like, what's the strangest place that you've ever done a webinar from? Because, sometimes it's your office. Sometimes it's a hotel room. Sometimes the traffic was bad and you didn't make it to the hotel. So you had to borrow some Wi-Fi from the parking lot of a Starbucks and do your webinar inside your room.
In there. Yeah. Right. Sean does. And so I have the distinct pleasure of, Sean does sales calls and I jump on calls with Sean a couple times a day. And Sean is never in the same scene more than once a day. So we'll do a call at 9:00 and he'll be upstairs in his office. We'll do a call at 10, he's downstairs. A call at 11, he's out front. And he's just changing scenes. And I know for a fact it's like all legit. And for those who have any questions, Dave's background is not virtual. That's a real background.
Not a green screen.
Yeah.
as I pull something out of the virtual background, yes,
which is the best magic trick ever. But yeah, I
don't. For the record, I don't use virtual backgrounds at all on anything that I do. So if you've ever seen
how many, I don't want to call them sets because they're your house, but like how many sets do you have that you do different scenes?
5, 6 different easily that I use. I have a couple that I wrote. I have a couple that I mainly use. Like I've got the one, the podcast itself is from my desk. That's one shot. Any video calls you see, then I've got 2 or 3 that I use in my office. But we've got this is one that we have used for other videos. Like my wife and I do a show called Tipsy Treats that we've used this set for. We've used both of our guest rooms for some of her shows and a couple of my stand-ups. Like we've got all these spots mapped out where we can we know the lighting, we know how it works, we know how to shoot it there. So yeah, I've got.
That's awesome. That's how I see it, Dave. I agree. This is my winter office. I'll go to my summer office soon.
Right. Move around.
But actually. When we were preparing for CCS 2020, Ray, you're muted if you're talking, which is perfect. You're saying this wise.
It's awesome, right? No, I'm saying we have to call out Keith. We were talking about the hires. He's getting his feelings hurt.
I know.
We did hire Keith specifically to oversee Sean. So,
I mean, Keith is my heckler, not your heckler. So knock that shit off.
Carl, you can have him back.
I'll give him back.
I haven't seen him in a year. That's the problem.
He has no problem on Facebook trying to tell everybody he's my father. As a matter of fact, he said it so many times, people actually start believing it. And they're like, why does your son not like you? I'm like, it's not like that.
I love that. We had Tony Simon's father. We have Keith is Sean's father. They're just jokes, people. I hope you get this. And Keith brings up a good point that when people shoot videos in their own house in California, they end up on the hub. So
a whole different thing on the other coast. You guys on the left coast, that's a whole thing.
I will say I traveled recently. We did an offsite, right? We got out and worked remotely for a whole month. And in order to make that happen, I took my trusty bag full of green screen materials and lights and tripods and all that stuff with me because, when you got a green screen, nobody knows where you are. You could be literally everywhere. Well, there were times when I was in the client's office, but the lesson that I learned from Dave Sobel was you take a picture when you do this, right? You just that picture. And then that goes up on the green screen, and I could be in Bulgaria. Nobody knows that I'm not in my home office. It's here, there, and anywhere is literally anywhere.
I agree. That sounded very wise and sort of scandalous at the same time.
No, like
Intention.
I want to point out, like our staff started doing that. Like we would be on staff meetings, and we'd start to see our own office background behind them because they missed being in the office.
And they would even have
me for a
backgrounds
minute.
with somebody else in the office with them at another computer. So like they were there with them. Like it's like you're not there with them, dude. Yeah.
Well, we
they
keep
really
Ryan
miss-
around because he's wise and scandalous. So
It's
kind of what we're
at the
looking
same time.
for.
Same
I
reason we
learned-
keep Sean around. Absolutely.
Learned a long
No,
time
Roldo,
ago.
he's not my dad. I think we have a game to play actually.
Yeah, Simon.
Simon.
Yeah. Okay. No. Stay, Simon. Stay. Simon, stay.
He
All right.
comes and goes. He comes and goes.
There we go.
All right, guys. So
No, it's getting harder too because I used to be able to surprise him, and now like I surprised him in the very beginning, and he was ready for it. Like he's getting better at this. So
all right, guys. So here at the bar today, we have people that have gone to often to conferences, have done speaking engagements. So today, the question of the day will be: what would your walk-up music would be if you were entering a room? Okay. So the way that this is going to work, we're going to change things up a little bit. Each person should know their own song. But what we're going to do is that you guys are going to have to say the song that you think would apply to the other person, right? So the first person that is going to be up will be Karl. So Ray or Dave, why don't you go ahead and tell us if Karl was walking into a room, what song would you expect to play for him?
Gosh.
oh, I know what I'd pick, but Dave, you go. You're a
Yeah, he
guest.
said
You go
Dave,
first.
it's not Ray. It's not Ray's turn.
He said
I
Ray,
want,
then Dave.
like-
all right.
I'm good at matching for myself, but like so for Karl, I want something like it's almost like a Buffett tune or something like that. Like I want something like
Yes.
like where it's like the relaxed vibe, where there's a bit of a chill, like a bit of a vibe, a little bit of funk to it,
Right?
but not too much. Like something I
I'm
pick
thinking
something
like Kokomo, right? Like
Yeah,
some Beach
like-
Boys. Like
exactly
yeah.
something in that genre to play off of the whole like his love of the beach and his love of travel. So it's gonna be something in that.
Margaritaville. Yeah.
So he likes Paradise,
Give
right?
Karl a little bit of credit for soul. It would probably be some Jimmy Cliff. It would be some reggae, right?
See,
Okay, I
I
can see that.
disagree.
I can
I think Carl's more hard than that. And I'm gonna mix in the Paradise thing. I'm gonna say he probably got like Coolio, Gangsta's Paradise.
That's a good pick too, though. That's a very, very good pick. Like,
Is anybody
that's
else
something.
picturing Karl with the twists now, like with the Coolio
Right?
twists?
He's smoking a blunt. He's
Dangerous
smoking a
Minds.
blunt.
Simon, hold on? I got to kick off Simon for this. Simon, can we get Juan to do like Karl with the Dangerous Minds like image with the twists and the whole thing?
You got it.
Just no blackface because 2021 that doesn't fly. But we can do the twists and like the gangster attire. And, yeah, man.
All right, so are we gonna see the song? I think I'm right.
You can't
really.
see that song unless
Was
you're painting with all the colors of the wind. You can't see
Karl,
the song.
So now it's Karl. Who was closest, and what would be your song if you were to walk into a room?
So Dave is probably actually everybody was closest in that. I love Jimmy Buffett, but I don't know that there's a walk-on song from Jimmy Buffett. For me, it would be Mr. Blue Sky by ELO,
Nice.
which is along those lines.
it's along those lines. That's a good poll. That's a good one.
Nice.
So what you're saying is that this was the song that used to play when you do the wrestling matches back in the day, correct?
I love the flowing hair.
No, that would be
I know.
Get Ready for This by
Long
2
flowing hair. It's great.
Are you the ultimate warrior? You're the ultimate warrior. I always
fantastic.
wondered who's under that mask.
Sean, how jealous are you of that hair, man? That's fantastic.
I'm so jealous of that hair. Oh my god. You know who's probably really jealous is Tony with all those guys with their hands out ready to slap his chest. Tony wants to be him.
You can almost see it too, right? 17%, 19%, 20%.
As it
Hold
keeps
on,
going.
I'm going to call an audible here. Karl, if you had to do your WWE, or let's go back, WWF, like this man's gonna regret the day he woke up. Like, how would that? I want to hear this, like, out of Karl's voice. I got to hear this.
I can't even do that. Like, sorry. I can't even begin to think.
All
of
right,
it.
fair enough. We won't push
You know what
the
I mean,
point.
brother?
You're definitely reaching with that one. That's distinctly less Karl.
Like, I'm gonna talk to you about some MRR, and we're gonna do projects.
You know what I mean, brother?
Give me the lines, I will say them, but I don't know that I'm creative enough to come up for that.
Oh, you can make up. You're on Tech Bar. You can make up whatever you want, dude. Honestly, you can say anything. The people watching this will think you're smart, regardless. I assure you. All right, Simon.
Simon, what do we got, man?
Okay, so next up,
First of all, namaste. But Sean, you got to put that coffee down, man.
I'm done with the coffee. It was my last drink of it.
All right.
I'm on my third glass of scotch, and I'm almost done with this beer. So I don't tell you.
so next in the room, we'll go above Carl, Sean, or Ray. If Sean was to have a walk-up song, what song do you think Sean Lardo would be walking up to?
I'm thinking it's something like out of Moana or Pocahontas. It's got to be,
Anyway, I envy their hair.
Right? Moana. You got the guy with the
Heart
flowy
Will
hair.
Go On or something like big swelling anthem from the end of a
Yeah, like what can I say except you're welcome? Like I can see Sean doing that, like just with a big stick, like absolutely.
I like that. That's a good. That makes me want to change my song all of a sudden. But no.
So we actually have the actual song.
Would anybody like to guess what they think my song is other than Ray? Because Ray doesn't know shit.
I'm thinking Secret Agent Man.
That's a good one too.
See, I would have gone like
That's
something
a
like a
really
Peter
good
Gunn and that Peter Gunn thing. Like you could also do in that, like that.
Yeah,
kind
the
of
Mission Impossible. Yeah.
Yeah,
I kind of want to change my song now.
So, do you want me to tell you what my song is, or are you going to play that, or what?
We'll go ahead and play the song that you used to use back in the day.
Actually, hold on real quick, Dave.
My Way is always solid. It's always solid.
Yes.
Was that a cover or was that Frankie? Because that didn't.
That was a cover, so we
don't
can actually play it and not get kicked off.
Ah, okay. So
I do
Dave,
own that gown, by the way, because the greatest
I've seen him in it.
the history of athletes wore that. Ric Flair. Woo!
But he had better hair though.
Well, you know what? I have a better beard, Ray.
So this is the conundrum we have. Every picture that Sean's in, they Photoshop. He's got that like yippee ki yay motherfucker. Like he's coming out of like Takanomi Towers. Like he's got the cigar, and he looks like there should be an explosion behind him. And then I got my bobblehead shit going on. Every freaking Photoshop.
That's because your head is the explosion. Your head's the explosion behind my picture.
Your head is clearly the centerpiece, right? So that's why they're drawing the eye there.
Centerpiece or billboard.
So I want to call something out real quick. Dave, you were DJ? Yeah. Is that what? That's the only fucking reason you know Peter Gunn theme. That is the. I've never met a
college DJ.
Oh.
I did college DJ live events like so anybody who knows like my Twitter handle is DJ WT. It's my college nickname plus Evolve Technologies was why that is.
Yeah, I've never met
my license plate on my car is still.
You had to call that out.
Well, while we're on it, we might talk about what your song would be then, right?
I mean,
Natural Evolution. No, don't tell us. We're going to guess first.
No, yeah. You want to give Ryan the opportunity to tell us what the song would be?
Yes.
So see, that's the thing, right? Because Dave's got deep cuts, and Dave comes from the DJ world. I often will mention a song that I think is obscure, and Dave's like, "Yeah, seen him in concert just the other day, right down the street in DC." Dave's got deep cuts.
Yeah.
I would have to predict that it would be something of the indie variety, but I wouldn't go to a specific title.
I've been to shows with Dave. He actually has a walk-on song.
Oh,
honest to God, does.
Oh, honestly, God.
Like, does he do
the first show that anybody asked me?
There's an actual story to this whole thing too. Like,
I would say no, Carl. That's people booing. That's not a song. That's booing.
That's true too. I listen to that
over and over and over
as they come out, and if they're doing, I know I'm doing it right.
Boo hiss, boo! I love that song. It's my favorite beat. I'm gonna say like you're probably like a big hair band guy. That's how I feel like like I feel like you're probably like a Cinderella guy or something maybe.
That is you are not wrong, but you are not wrong to know that I love some good hair metal. Like you're not wrong.
So you're a damn Yankee guy, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's awesome, but that's not my walk-on song. But you are not wrong to peg me for a love of good '80s hair bands. Like, hell yeah!
I could tell. Well,
the
booze
artist
behind me
is
told that.
Right Said Fred.
Right.
Okay.
He's too sexy.
Strong pull too.
Nice.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, so I mean, you guys know him better than we do. I went with the big hair band groups. I don't have one in particular, but what's your final answer? Is anybody? Carl, you said a walk-up song. What is it?
Oh no, I don't know the name of his song because I actually don't listen to that music. But
Carl,
I'm gonna go with I'm too sexy. Like if we're gonna go with Right Said Fred, yeah. I'm too sexy for this podcast. Too sexy for this.
Too sexy by far.
And
so
what is it?
Is what?
So what is it, Dave? What's your walk-up song, man?
So my walk-on song is by Fort Minor. It's Remember the Name. It's the first 33 seconds of that song is what I use as my walk-on song. And the story behind this is, so when I took over the events for GFI Max, right? Max 2014 was my first one. And I kid you not, one of the things I made the team do was we designed and picked walk-on songs for everyone. Like I let everyone pick, or I helped them pick a song. I picked all of that, and I used that song as my walk-on song for every GFI show until they made me stop, which is interestingly right around the same time I thought it might be time to move on. There's an interesting correlation between those two data points. But yeah, we for 2014, anybody that on my events team knows, we literally had meetings to pick walk-on songs for people, and design all of that stuff. Because I'm a big believer that music and tone and attitude and light and all that stuff makes it. You can it really change the vibe. So that's me riffing on it. So that's my song.
That's awesome. I think we even have picture of you coming out to it.
Problem. There we go.
Nice.
Nice. But that is the song right there.
So do you have that swag? I mean, if we go to your store, are we going to find the the leather vest?
Next week.
Clearly now I have to add it. It's,
and will you
have to add that
involved too?
That's about as unprecedented as I've ever seen. That's all I'm saying.
Of course.
Amen. That means you drink, Ryan. Keep up, son.
I was brainstorming swag. I was like, would it be okay to have a business of tech speedo?
I
now
think so.
It will be. Now I'm going to go research that. We'll put the little logo right there.
I mean,
Put the banana hammock.
You're not getting much for wearing pants today on these calls anymore, right? I mean, seriously, I even changed.
Are you wearing pants today, Sean?
No, I'm wearing shorts. I didn't wear my underwear today. I have shorts on. See, there you go. See,
with your salmon shorts. Yeah. I will say, Sean has sexy legs. I'm not afraid to call it out. You have sexy legs, my friend.
That's how I feel about your eyebrows, Ray. I haven't drank enough yet. Hold on.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Simon. What's next, man?
So next we have Ryan. So if Ryan had a walk-up song, what song do you think Ryan Morris will have?
Sweet Home Alabama.
Dave calling it out.
I would go for Ryan. For Ryan, I would go something from the Stones or something I would have actually, if it wasn't, I might have picked "Start Me Up," but I'm actually going to go something in that space for songs. So that'd be my guess, is somewhere around there, something in that harder classic rock stuff.
Bohemian Rhapsody,
that's a good song.
That's an excellent song.
Yeah, even Tony Francisco has a limit. I'm just
He's lying.
We found it.
Dude walking around with men shirtless, and even Tony has a limit.
There's no way he has limits. He has guys that sit on his face for a living, basically. He has no limits.
Eric threatening to close a Patreon account.
And there will be no speed. I do what my Patreon say.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You
$.
never know where the
So
edge of the envelope is till you push it.
So I want to ask that real quick, like, before we move on. Dave, I know you do the whole Patreon thing where like they can ask a question. Have you ever had like any really oddball, like, why the hell did they ask this type questions?
I actually really haven't. Like I will actually, like, not to be like super cheap, but like those questions are really always some of the best I get. Or like, because in a way, like, there's the most people that are the most engaged, right? And like are like following along. So I get like really awesome questions from that group. Like in fact,
that's
like
a
my
huge disappointment
whole
for this show. So no.
yeah, like my whole thinking on e-commerce was really one of my Patreons like really pushing me. Because I was being super dismissive of Mark, and he just drove. He was like, "No, you're going to answer this because I'm a Patreon, and you spend like I spend my time thinking you're gonna think about this." And I'm like, "All right, I will do my homework." And so no, I really don't get any bad ones there. I wish I could give you like here's the funny answer, but it's like that's actually a really good question.
You don't get the short comments calling you out in chat, telling you to wear a Speedo like we get, or like the Barney theme song.
Well, I totally get. Don't get me wrong; they call my bullshit like fast, but I don't get bad questions. They're not asking bad questions. They'll call bullshit.
I feel that.
Disagree with me.
But I feel that Tony and Eric really were trying to say, please wear Speedos by saying that. I feel like they encouraged Dave and I to do so.
Oh, it was like the double negative, like the...
Yeah, like psychology.
Don't
like
not
Tony's trying to not into it by saying, please don't. Like
Wile E. Coyote, like no birdseed here, and then there's birdseed for the Roadrunner.
Exactly, Ryan. Just like that, no means yes. Like, no. Oh,
Please.
I'm not looking. Hold on.
Dave,
Like,
don't, Dave.
Oh, Simon, can we please get this on track?
Hey, that's the Speedo. That's a
song are we on, dude?
Matter.
The day Sean's like doing this, like, oh yes.
I mean, I don't know. It was Vogan next. I don't know what to tell you.
So between Speedos and Barney theme songs, we were talking about Ryan's
Ryan's walk-up song.
Not those.
See, and Eric just keeps begging for it too.
Well, hold on. So when Mark says the Barney theme song, are we talking Barney Fife or Barney the dinosaur?
I feel like he's talking about Barney the dinosaur. Like, I think that makes
I'm guessing dinosaur. That would be my guess.
Yeah. I'm. You were saying something about it, Mr. Hansen, sir?
He said he's begging for us to do so. See, no, please, no. Yes, please, yes. Yes, yes, please, yes.
And Brian says barf, and the fox goes ring, ding, 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 ding. Right.
next in our swag store, Speedos. It's coming up.
There you go. With Sean as the model, absolutely. All right. So the song. Whose walk-on song are we on for like the third time?
Ryan.
Ryan. All right.
Sweet Home, Alabama.
So
this will remind you of Ryan.
Nice.
There you go.
He's a man heart.
I will tell you, I did an event for a vendor in the DR about 4 years ago, and they wanted us all to be like, hardcore. That was their theme. I have a jacket that looks almost exactly like that. I've never sweated so much in front of a crowd in my life. It was the DR. It was like 85 degrees, and I was wearing like this full, heavy biker leather jacket. I was just a puddle of sweat the entire time. It was awesome.
So Ryan, can you redeem us, because Karl couldn't do the WWE Can you give the trash talk? Can you do that here?
No, I don't trash talk. I'm always.
Dave, I feel like you're. I feel like you're ready to do this. Dave, help us out here, man.
See, the screaming thing's not my. That's not like rants. Screaming.
Okay, so I'm a little disappointed to hear that, because a radio DJ or any DJ knows, and yes, I used to DJ, knows it's not about the volume; it's about the proximity, right? Like,
you can always get
you don't have to.
But I'm cheating a little bit on a speakerphone to get like the vibe in the bar.
Yes. Okay.
Sunday. I mean, you can always pull it
Sean
off.
loves that, by the way. Yeah. Sean loves eating the mic.
What are you talking about, Ray? I don't know what you're talking about.
The day Sean learned that you feel like that real deep Barry Manilow voice, like the Barry White voice, like exactly. Sean was in heaven. All right. Simon, what do we got next, dude?
Next is your walk-up song. So if Ray was walking into a room, what would be the song that Ray will play?
And I'll set the tone.
Sweet Caroline. What are you doing? Like, you're.
Captain.
I'm not even getting a tone. My God, I feel like I'm in a horror house. I don't know what's going on.
I
I'm
know.
scared. I'm all
Chainsaw
scared.
Massacre.
Sweet Caroline. That's what you're doing. Sweet Caroline. Anybody else want to guess? Because
Well,
probably
he brought to mind
Wouldn't be
Barry
a bad
White,
song.
so I just want to say, "Hey, baby."
Oh, a Barry White, that would like a deep jam or something, or this. You know what? I'm gonna pull the theme from Shaft.
Ooh, there you go.
Oh,
yeah.
well, I have been called one bad mother. Shut your mouth.
So theme from Shaft. It's totally that.
I don't
That
think you were
does have
called
that
one,
badass intro. That
Ray. You weren't called one bad. You were just called motherfucker. That's what you were called. I guess not.
I was called Namaste. That's what I was called.
Interchangeable.
But I appreciate like the whole "my darling, I can't get enough of your love, baby."
Okay,
Those
keep
are all
going.
good pulls, though.
I don't know why.
Okay, so
I'll do this all night. I have enough alcohol. I can keep going. I'm good. Super freak. That's Glenn calling me out. Super freak. That's.
By the way, just for the sake of it all, we didn't actually answer which one mine was, and I have to say, not classic rock. I'm a proud punk rock head, and the one I've been using for the last 2.5, 3 years, the song "Take Back the Power" by the Interrupters.
It's a good one. Yeah.
Because
Plus, you're sending a good message with your song choice.
What's your
I like
plan for tomorrow?
that.
Are you a leader or will you follow? See?
I like that.
And also, because I've thought about this a lot over the years, like Dave, right? I've thought about this walk-up music stuff a lot. If you're in the right crowd and you don't have to worry about the PG rating, then it's Cypress Hill, Rock Superstar.
Oh,
good one.
Cypress. I
that's a
love
fun.
that.
I knew I was doing something right.
I more prefer hits from the bong, though.
Yeah,
That's also good. And they are so good live.
Like, okay, so I'm calling it out now. Like the next time we go to like an in-person conference that the five of us are there,
Yeah.
and I'll include Simon, right, Simon? Exactly. So like the five of us are there, the 5.5 of us are there. Like we have to like get like the strobes and the smoke, like, and we have to do a full walk on. I don't care what it is. It could be like, you know, something
Right.
at the Holiday
My
Inn.
two events team stories. My events team knew that the thing I really wanted one day was fire. I wanted pyro, like when I came out on stage, and it was. I kid you not. For everyone that ever went to a GFI show, I put it in the budget, and my events person removed it. Every single show that I ever proposed, I put in fire, and Debbie would remove it, and she would take it out.
I did several of those shows, and there was never a better stage or a walk-on experience than coming onto the stage at GFI. Or
well, thank you, because we worked hard. The funny thing is to that next bit, when we were doing we were picking a song. I was picking a song for an intro video, and I picked this song that I had a beat that I wanted, and I was kind of into the band at the time, and I knew I was doing something right. But again, my event coordinator, she was like, Dave, I don't like the message the song talks about because the lyrics are not in alignment with the way I want the message of the partners. I'm like, I have done my job. I have done my work. Whatever you want, now you can have.
Nice.
The
best I could get was an incredible failing 2-man. This is the best I could get for my show. Except we're gonna have Simon dressed in red doing the same thing, like in front of all of our events.
Everybody needs a hype man. Everybody needs a hype man.
We're gonna use Simon for the new norm. Carl, you're not keeping up. Carl, come on, Carl.
Slow ears.
So we gotta finish Ray's song. So Ray, what is your song?
What is your song?
Well, you know, I'm Iron Man, so my song has to be "Welcome to the Jungle," right, Simon? Finally, my head is the right size for the body. Wrong like color, but you know,
something
the tone is wrong.
Here.
No, and as the and I think Dave was the only other one to do this here. I actually gave Simon the timestamp of when I wanted the song started too, not just the song, because that matters.
It does matter. There's a section you want. It's not just but I have this
You
section.
need the build up. You need the crescendo. Absolutely, yes.
See, I got invited back to a conference after I'd been there for several years, and then I didn't go for several years, and I came back to do a main stage thing. And the walk up song that I recommended was Eminem, Without Me, and the chorus spectacular. It's like, hey, what was going on here when I wasn't here? The first 60 seconds of the song, that's not appropriate for the public audience. And so I had to timestamp that thing, because if they started from the beginning, I might have been invited to leave.
Right.
I don't know. I found that, I spent 9 years in the Army, and with inappropriateness brings like a sense of relief for people. So
okay, what is this bullshit? Juan Marcos, who is our personal Mario, he's the one that does our graphics. He says that was my only inaccurate Photoshop in terms of size.
I think
The one time the head matched the body.
Realism.
Well, the arms were real. It was the body that was not.
Right? Yeah. No, those guns were here. I don't pull them out because the eyebrows are enough. Simon, and of course Keith calling out, watch Iron Man. The caterer is in the penthouse is his daughter.
He's always showing off about the kids he actually
He's a proud dad, not of you, but he's a proud dad of his other kids.
Hey, he's well connected. Look at that. That's a cool hookup.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had to grow up on the other side of the country. He went to the other side of the country to get away. Still waiting for him to come back with milk and cigarettes.
All right. Simon, what's going on, man?
Okay, guys. So next we have we have some fun pictures that we'd like to display. And this is a section of this show that we like to call Caption This Picture. So we're going to be displaying some pictures in the screen, and you guys are going to have to come up with your best captions for each picture. Okay. So first, getting started, we'll go ahead. We have a picture of Karl.
Nice.
Wow. Dave, you want to start this?
Do not use the words reach around.
All right.
Ryan.
I swear it was just my book in there.
See, that's the thing, right? I was going hand in glove because it looks like Carl's got his hand caught in a cookie jar there.
I was thinking like 2 tins, 1 man.
Wow.
Along those lines.
I'm going to go with officer. I don't know how that got there.
Not mine. I have no idea where that came from.
Carl, what do you think? I mean, I don't know. Maybe you can.
Well, for me, it's just, I'm sorry, but I found it in this glove. So that I had to
Sorry, I found it.
Where is this picture taken, by the way?
in Scotland. That's in Edinburgh.
Speaking of Scotland,
I have one more. Smell my finger.
Well, I have this uncanny knack of finding photo opportunities.
Did you say unprecedented? I'm pretty sure I heard unprecedented.
Into one of Dave and his wife and I in New Orleans, where Dave's got his head inside of an alligator. So, I just stop people and say, "Yep, put your head in there," and I'm going to take this picture.
Right, put your head in there.
I like that. That's actually kind of smart, and you could probably make it.
How often in your life do you get to say, "Put your head in there"? Like, I'm just saying. Like
more than you would think.
Is there actually somebody telling you that, or are you just imagining? Back to No Means Yes.
So this is in Australia, outside of Adelaide. We went there to the German festival. I want to say last year, but skip 2020.
Right.
It was late 2019.
All right.
And then we took a tour of the town, and so this is Amy Babinchak and I, and I literally told her, stand here and stick your tongue out to the side like this. She did it, and she didn't realize that this thing was doing this. And so she just did what she was told.
All right. So, Ryan, what do you think? Caption this.
See, see the Oktoberfest. It's the Germans have a fantastic turn of phrase, right? You just a little more on my wiener, please. I mean,
Just add mustard.
Delivery. That was a nice
Just add
delivery,
mustard.
actually.
That was actually pretty good. That was
I thought you were
impressive.
saying something serious. Like I was
That was
like,
good.
you're fucking it up, Ryan. And you
No,
totally,
you just gotta be deadpan to be very German on it.
It's true.
and angry. Yes, and angry. And like schnitzel. Ray, what do you think?
I'm gonna go with don't put don't put ketchup on my sausage.
Dave.
I was going to say, is there more mustard, please?
I was just thinking it'd be like, you're such a show off. That's all I
How
can
about
think.
that's a nice wiener in my buns? Like,
Next.
I'm sorry, I never grew up past 12. I
This is a
apologize.
carry on. What do we got next here, Simon? What's the next one? It just gets better and better.
Oh, I know. And that Mai Tai.
But why?
I mean, Ray, you want to start with that maybe?
I almost
don't
want to say, like, does it need a
Dave,
caption?
Thank you.
Does it actually need a caption?
Yeah, I don't
Like,
think
you-
it needs a caption.
You just,
Oh,
you just put the
I want to
picture
say like one of these things is not like the other, but nothing in this scene matches at all.
up. Nothing matches.
Except to the point at the top of the show that Sean was making, there's picture proof that Karl does indeed wear a good Hawaiian shirt.
It's true.
There you go.
That's true. So we did try to get custom shirts made for this episode, custom Hawaiian shirts. We just didn't have them made in time, just because. But we were like all in to have like signature Karl Palachuk like shirts ready to go.
Now I want a
Ooh.
signature car.
You might have some merch in coming up here soon. There you go. Well,
There you go.
you should have told me to wear a Hawaiian shirt. I would have.
We assumed you were. I don't know why we wouldn't. Every picture has you in a Hawaiian shirt. Jesus Christ.
No, it has a beach background, but not a Hawaiian shirt.
All these pictures, I don't know, last two pictures, Hawaiian shirt. I don't know if you noticed or not.
I think. Hold on. I think Glenn called out the right caption for the last one. That third arm is disturbing. Or drunk in the junk. Jonathan Crow from Ninja. Although he may not want to be associated with Ninja right now.
See, and in
Free
this
tag
photo,
champion.
this is the true rebel, Karl, by the no slippers sign, wearing slippers.
Right?
Yeah.
This is a bamboo covered Vespa in Maui.
Really?
That is
I feel
impressive.
like-
Who even
I
knew
feel like
they
we
made-
should have been like on that last one. I feel like you should have been like the movie Grease, like and singing like.
Okay, all right. Now Karl has to like. What's up with the tie? Was it just like
So-
let me find different scenes to like put the
This
tie
is-
in, or
This is Mai Tai Palachuk. Mai Tai has its own page on Facebook, and you can, befriend Mai Tai on Facebook. And
okay?
I take this tie all over the world, and I hold it up to people's necks, and I take their picture, even if they're an elephant, and I post them on that page.
Yeah,
So
come
there
on,
you
guys.
go.
You're not friends with Mai Tai on Facebook?
What the hell?
I can honestly say I've never gone to Facebook or any social platform and searched for the words Mai Tai
Mai Tai
without
one
looking for
word,
rum in it. Like I've ordered Mai Tais.
MYTIE, one word on Facebook. I befriend me and befriend Mai Tai, and Mai Tai will befriend you back.
So who has more followers, your Thai or your own page?
Sadly, Mai Tai has
Okay.
more followers.
I have to tell the story to this, right? So I have to tell the story on this one because so this is down in Adelaide, the same conference, right? And Karl makes this whole deal to me of how Dave, it's this thing. Everyone wears these ridiculous jackets. Like you've got to have a ridiculous jacket.
That's a good
Like
jacket.
it's a thing. You can't fly down there and not have a ridiculous jacket. So I go to all this.
I'm not gonna lie, that's a good jacket.
I like that jacket.
Thank you. I still have it, and I will never use it again because, like, what the fuck am I going to use it for? But,
I would use it regularly.
This
all right, well, then maybe it will go on whenever we
You
do
really
shows
would.
again. Maybe I'll take it out. But I have it, so I go out the effort. I buy this thing and I fly it down to Australia with me. Karl and I are the only ones that year that show
That's
up in the
not
ridiculous.
true. That is not true. Not everyone wore a jacket that night, but several people did. So
Yeah, but I'm not seeing. I don't know what. Looks like Amy has a regular jacket on to me. I don't know.
well, the men wore the
men wear a crazy, crazy blazer.
It's kind of hard to tell here. Mine is a purple brocade. So, but Wayne Small had on a funky jacket.
Oh, and you've paired it with my cool mask.
Nice.
My retro video game mask.
Okay. How many clothing items do you have with Pac-Man on it?
Oh,
I have two. You've now seen both of them.
Because Simon, we have a Pac-Man poster, don't we, Simon? So we have the Tech Bar Namaste, which I think means we have to drink.
Yes.
Oh, you have now seen my 2 articles of Pac-Man clothing.
I think that's a great fashion statement, though. You should probably go with more of that.
So I mean, we're talking about making the Speedo for MSP Radio.
Right.
We're talking about, we know where the cherries would go and the banana.
Of course.
I mean, I'm just saying, you have your next shop item right there. You're welcome. I mean,
what the
Magic
fans
Live
demand, the fans get. Sure.
I think we're making a T-shirt of this. So
some of the very best business ideas were hatched while drinking in the lobby bar at a tech conference.
Yes.
So
and we have a resident freeze tag champion, waka 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 waka, Jonathan Crow from Ninja.
This is the most involved he'll be.
and hey, give him a break. He hasn't frozen yet. And we have Keith out saying my head's too small. My head is it still looks too big there. Simon. Why is my head the size of the Death Star? That's too big to be a moon.
This is to scale.
I mean, I think it's
bullshit. That's all
accurate.
I'm saying.
I think it's accurate. It's accurate. Judges will allow it.
Can we get a new picture of Sean? Okay, so I'm going to call out of date because at minimum, I'm not even bearded in those pictures.
Yeah, but that is perfect. Then if you had the beard, you're going to be way too big of a head. We can't add any more inches onto your face. My God, look at that thing. Fucking Cujo.
See, do you remember the movie So I Married an Axe Murderer?
I was just thinking that joke.
Mike Myers? Absolutely.
Like
yes.
Go over his
like
head.
Sputnik.
It's like what? Heed. Pants.
He's down.
And one calling out his masterpiece. And why am I short? I'm 6'1". Why am I short in this picture?
You're only seeing half the body, Ray.
You got to show the sword.
I'm a midget
on a hill. I'm a midget bobblehead in this picture.
You're at the bottom of the hill, Ray. That's why you're at the bottom of the hill. He's on top.
We have a conspiracy between Simon and Juan at this point.
You guys did a great job.
There you go. There's Juan.
By the way, that's Juan is like 15 years old and has a mustache of like a 40-year-old. Look at that.
And mine is not photoshopped.
No.
Carl actually wearing that hat.
So Juan's mustache is not photoshopped. Sean's absolutely telling the truth.
That is his.
Juan's not 14, he's 15. But
and a half.
And a half. But dude comes to a freaking interview with us like a year ago and he has this mustache. I'm like, this is the best I get, and I'm 41. I could never in a million years grow that. And he's like, yeah, hey, Mario. And he's going to go clean our pipes or something. I don't know. It was a weird thing. It was a weird interview, but we hired him.
No, I love it. I think and actually Juan is very good, by the way, guys. If you guys need any help ever, we charge only $500 an hour for Juan, just so you know.
Yeah, don't judge it by the size of my head in the pictures. He does other better work.
The scale.
Yeah,
you should judge it by that because that shows you how accurate he is. He's thorough as hell.
He's a stickler for all those details, getting it accurate.
But for a $2 an hour raise, he might make your head the right size. I'm just saying.
He might. Okay, I'm absolutely willing to pay to play here. Absolutely. Someone needs to do a labor audit of OITVOIP, the staff of minors. Listen, Keith, we pick up the children you have left behind, and that's who we hire.
Somebody should audit him for not paying for child support. I mean, I don't know.
But in honor of Keith, I will say. The new norm. I have no way to work that in. I'm just going to say new norm.
I know you're just there's no way to stop that when you do it.
Yeah.
You don't have to only drink when the words are said.
That's
correct. I have not, sir. I promise you, I have not. I'm almost I'm almost 40% through the bottle. So
Yep, I am right now.
And
Oh,
again,
there's my
and
entry.
it's like, and I'm sure those are real glasses. That's not Photoshop.
Oh yeah, I totally own those glasses. So
I can see
own
that.
So many things with dollar signs. One time I was in Tahoe driving down the road, and this friend of mine is like, "Stop! You have to turn around." I'm like, "Arr!" Like, what the hell? She goes, "There's a shirt back there you have to buy." And so we drove back, and there's this shirt covered with dollar signs. So I'm like, "You're right. Doesn't matter what it costs. I have to own that shirt."
Yep.
I kind of like that.
Dollar bill, yo.
When I get really drunk, I see dollar bills. It's when I'm throwing them out at the bar as if
Right.
I have them.
Making it rain.
So I think we have Simon. You might as well hop on. I think we have another game to play too.
I'm glad that you took 99% of these pictures off my Facebook.
Well, you have a lot going on there, man.
It's a lot on pictures.
Yeah, but
we
none of the
look at a
pictures
lot of
were from
stuff.
his tie, though. Like next time, we need to like go through the tie Facebook page, right?
Or you can
No,
totally
you
go
guys
to
were
my-
threatening that you were doing all this research. You didn't even find my tie.
I know, right? Well, obviously, Carl does a very bad job of promoting his own stuff.
Oh yeah,
So-
I'm horrible at self-promotion.
Right. He's Carl.
Sean, did you have lunch with Keith yesterday? Did you finally have a father-son moment?
No, it was like 4:00. He gave me 15 minutes of his day, and he talked all about himself. So I don't know if I call that lunch.
Okay, but isn't Keith in California? So
Yeah,
4
so we
o'clock
can't
is 1
even
o'clock
have
his time?
lunch. We can't even have
That's
lunch.
lunch his time, though. That's his lunch.
If by lunch you mean he was drinking heavily, then yeah, we had lunch.
Yeah, because we judge people who drink heavily. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So Simon, what do we have next here?
All right, so earlier in the episode, we were talking about Speedos, how Dave wants to add the Speedo to his shop. And Dave, if you need a model, Sean was actually a Speedo model back in the day. If you guys did not know.
That's so fucked up.
Nice.
What are we
Nice.
looking at with the tan line, Sean? Like, what is the mid
That is-
I
thigh?
don't know. Why am I
Unprecedented.
posing? Like, maybe we should talk about
That
that.
is, in fact, unprecedented.
That is.
And even if that
Wow,
wasn't
I'm-
a drinking word, I need a drink after looking at that. I'm just
I
saying.
think pulling from the DJ, I'm blinded by the light. Like,
I mean, that's and I
But, like,
had a mullet.
is this like a Dudley and like a bicycle shop episode of like, you know what I mean? Like this feels a little uncomfortable. Like what you talking about, Willis?
So to be clear, I was actually qualifying for the Junior Olympics in swim, and that was I don't know. My mother made me like do that. So
Was that the
And
butterfly?
now we're back to
Hey,
all right.
hey.
However,
I said it towards your medley. So yeah, butterfly was involved. You're right, Ray.
the very best part of that photo is the thing on the wall. You can't tell where that ends and your hair begins, so it just
Right?
looks like that's your hair in the photo.
I wish it was
man.
my hair. That'd be awesome, right?
You are peacocking right there. That is fantastic.
Sean is also a Mayan temple god. Like if you don't know, like
Clearly.
they worship 12-year-old boys in speedos. Like that's
I was
the
apparently
thing.
wrong on a 2012 calendar, but
If that doesn't say namaste, I don't know what does. I'm just saying.
It says something. Thank you, Simon, for sharing that. And I want to be sure. I want to be sure I thank Nikki when I see her in person. A lot of times.
I'm just saying we had Star Wars episodes completely muted, and that got booted off of Facebook, off of YouTube. But this will not get touched. Like that's some bullshit.
I'll stay forever.
Because people want to see it.
You can't touch that. That's your theme.
Oh, nobody wants to touch that. That's like no, can't touch this. No. All right.
It's so messed up. Anyway,
in Mai Tai in Hawaii.
Yep.
I'm again.
Okay, but there's no Hawaiian shirt. You're wearing a Waioeta. Like, where's the Hawaiian shirt that goes here, man?
Well, you don't want to be cliche when you're in Hawaii.
When you're in Hawaii, every
Wait,
shirt is
you're
a Hawaiian
holding-
shirt.
Well, that's
You're
good point.
holding
That was a Hawaiian
a
shirt.
happy face tie. You're holding a happy face tie, and you're talking about not being cliche.
You should have worn the
She's
skirt.
holding the happy face tie.
But-
You know what, Carl? You should have
seriously,
worn the
guys.
skirt. You should have worn the skirt and only the skirt.
In every shirt in Hawaii is a Hawaiian shirt by
Right,
definition.
by definition.
It's not like Brazil nuts, so they're not Brazil nuts. They're just nuts. Like,
Exactly. They're just nuts. Like it.
But in Scotland, Scotty dogs are just called Dogs.
Dogs, right?
That's true. And here's everything in Australia will kill you.
Yep.
Teddy
Everything in
bear.
Australia will kill you.
Oh, these things, like you hug them and then they start putting their claws into you. It's like
These are literally like, and I don't mean 2020 definition of literally. I mean like Merriam-Webster definition of literally. These are literally one of the dumbest animals on the entire planet. Like
they might be smart, except they're high all the time. They only eat eucalyptus, which makes them drugged out, and
which is poisonous to absolutely everything else on the planet. Eucalyptus is poisonous, and koalas are like, yeah, I'll eat that. Okay,
yeah, I'll eat. That's all
they will get stoned on that. But see, I saw yesterday morning, everything in Australia will kill you. They've been having gnarly rainstorms down there over the last couple of weeks, and they're flooding. They had a dam that came over the edge, and this woman posted a picture of her field, a little like 15-second video of her field. And she was like, "You see all the plants that are growing in the dirt?" And she's like, "No, zoom in." And everything that was brown in the photo was a spider that was fleeing the floodwaters of the river that was being breached. These are like spiders that are the size of baseballs, and an entire farm field full of them just coming towards your house. And I was like, I'll watch that on television. I don't need to go there for that.
But see, like that, but that's kind of my point. Like Jonathan's giving me shit in the chat for like railing on koalas, but like, can we not acknowledge that literally everything in Australia will kill you, and the cuddlier it is, the faster it will kill you?
Oh, it all
like
kills you.
Toilets.
It all kills you.
Toilet spiders should not be a normal thing. Toilet spiders. It's fucking big. And for scale, my hands are fucking bear paws. Like, I do not have small hands. Toilet spiders should not be a normal thing. And drop bears, like, come on.
Are they the size of your head by chance? Because if that's the case, then I'm scared to death.
They are the size of the distance between my two eyebrows, right here. You know what? Like, but it's true though. Like, I don't know. Anyway.
Moving right.
I know Simon's trying to look. I can see, if you guys can see Simon in the green room, he's so preparing for stuff. He's like working so hard and diligently. Look, there he is. Bye, Simon.
In and out.
When I added this photo to my dating profile, I finally got some response. So
you're dating,
but it was koalasonly.com. That's a weird thing to like.
Trip?
You know what, Carl?
Different trips.
Carl, we have a young guy that works for us that can't get a girlfriend. I'm gonna have to.
Can we call him out? We don't want to call out names, but like, we want to give dating advice.
His name rhymes with Moshua. But anyway,
just go hold a koala. That's all I'm saying,
dude. So we were.
That's what I'm saying. Find things that girls want to see you holding, right? And your
so
penis is not one of them. I'm just telling you now.
We sat on a meeting one day talking about how to fill out his profile for Tinder, and I'm like, dude, just say you like country music. He goes, I don't like country music. I go, so what? Say you like country music. Like,
yes, Jonathan gets it. That one is actively shivving Carl. Absolutely. And great. And Brian doesn't know what the hell he's talking about, saying sleeping in the closet's not normal. It's not normal. It's the new normal.
Oh, sneaky.
True that, yo.
I'm just saying.
Well, Simon, you got to come on, dude. We got a game, right?
Yeah, so we have our last game of the night. Here at the Tech Bar, we are from Florida, so we like to look at the storylines, look at the headlines. Florida is a crazy place. So the name of this game is called Florida or Not Florida. It's very simple. We're going to put headlines on the screen, and you're going to have to decide whether it's Florida or not Florida. Just give your thoughts. Very simple. We'll go ahead and get started.
It's so funny, though, that Ryan started laughing before you started as soon as you said it, because everybody not from Florida, we all know there's Florida stories, and it's funny no matter what happens.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Is Tony still here?
I know. Like it's
right. So Tony and I are from Florida, and obviously Simon by progeny, but like you know, it's some of these stories, like, they're funny and then they hurt me just because I know they're true. And it's so
But
bad.
this game is easy. If it is ridiculous, it is Florida.
Yeah, Florida.
See, that's the side effect of this industry, right? Like, if you spend enough time going to conferences and events, you will wind up in Florida in August because that's where the hotel rates are really affordable, right?
Right? So that's what Natsuki's is doing, right?
Everybody's got a conference in Florida, and you know, spend a few hundred nights in Florida over the years, and you'll come to realize, yep, it's all true. It's all true.
I found that if you Google like your birthday and in Florida, there's a story for every single day.
Ooh.
That's so ridiculous.
That's what I was gonna say, Carl. If you want to come to Florida, we have both shots and COVID doesn't exist, so you're welcome to come to Florida.
Yeah. Mask. What's a mask? What the hell?
Yeah, we don't have masks.
So we might as well start with the Florida or not Florida. So man loses life savings at Carnival when stuffed banana.
Why did you pause? Why did you pause there? Man loses life.
Because I was saving it for
Florida, man.
Florida. I was totally Florida.
Okay, Florida. What do you think, Carl? Florida, not Florida?
Totally.
Actually,
Florida.
Keith, that might be the most scientific answer ever. That's probably accurate. Heat and humidity kills brain cells. Exactly. I'll go with that.
Well, good. Let's go with the game and get Keith off because he doesn't know what he's talking about. So, Dave.
Oh, Florida. That's Florida.
Ray, since you're from there.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Florida. This sounds ridiculous.
Okay, well, I'll say not because everybody else said it was.
There you
I don't know what, like, I have to go against the grain. Simon, do we have a yes or no, or are you coming on to tell us because we have no clue?
Right.
Not Florida. Thank you.
Wait a minute. Did the guy from New Hampshire go to Florida?
Right. Florida involved in the travel
atmosphere that makes you.
That's the thing. There's always a Florida tie-in somewhere.
Always a Florida tie-in.
I think the guy's originally from Florida and went to New Hampshire.
However, it does. If you read the article there a little bit, it mitigates the Florida-ness of it that his life savings was only $2,600.
Right.
So,
yeah, but you know what? Like, I remember watching Tiger King and saying, like, okay, this guy's royally fucked up. Thank God he's not from Florida. And then he's like, yeah, and I grew up next to Lion Country Safari in West Palm Beach. I'm like, fuck, we were so close. We were so close.
Florida.
They're all from Florida, Ray. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I'm always going to guess Florida. Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to guess Florida.
Yes. Florida, of course.
Florida.
Wow, everybody's like Florida.
Okay, I feel like we should have, like, you know, not Corey, like, you know what I mean? I feel like we should have Dave and Corey on for this. If we're gonna have Matt Damon, right? Like,
right?
You know,
all right, so
like,
we got 3 said Florida right now, right? And Ray, what do you say?
I'm gonna go Florida. I have to rep my hometown.
Jesus, that forces me to say not Florida because it's not Florida.
Don't be so contrarian. Like, why don't you just go your own path, man?
I am going my own path. It's against the grain, Ray. That's all it is. Against the grain.
You only do against the grain when you're cutting steak. That's all I'm saying. When you're shaving, you go with the grain.
That's against Gonzaga. That's all I'm saying.
So, is it Florida or not? Thank you. I'm winning this game. Nobody's business. I mean, I feel like
but you're not winning because of knowledge or because of good guessing. You're winning just to, like, go against me. So in effect, I'm winning for you. You're welcome.
Yeah, you somehow tie yourself into winning again.
What can I say except you're welcome? Namaste. I'm just.
I think you're full of shit, but I'm going to drink with you.
The question that goes with this one again, you know, you got to wonder, was that guy a native of Nevada?
Oh, you're just moving on. Larry. Next one. Let's go to the next one.
Simon's like, we don't care. There's no progression here. We're just moving forward. Go ahead.
We're just moving. Fine.
Roll.
Okay,
man ripped urinal from wall.
And run.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with not Florida because I know a version of this story.
I feel like that's happened in many places.
Right. So I'm going to go with not Florida.
All right. Right.
Florida.
So wait, is this unusual? Like, is this a non?
I think
you
it's
guys don't
usual.
see every day.
I feel like I've seen this happen.
Exactly. I'm
Like,
aware of
Carl's like,
places
this is a
like that.
Tuesday. This is normal. This is
Like,
you know, this is the new normal. That's just.
And so Tony says Florida. He's very adamant about it, apparently.
Right.
I'm waiting for Tony to say it was me. It was.
Because I
I did
it.
it.
There. I got a picture
It
of
takes
the
a lot
guy.
of upper body strength to rip that urinal off the wall.
He does. Yeah. Tony's a very ripped individual.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Sean, I'm gonna have you go first. You go
Okay.
first, and I can be contrarian.
I'm okay. So wait, Carl, what did you say?
Florida.
Carl said this was a Tuesday in Florida.
Now he's got cue cards. Jesus, I'm so not prepared.
The man is a consummate professional. Absolutely, yes.
So Dave said not. Ryan said yes. And Carl said Florida.
Brian said definitely Tony in Florida.
Right.
Yeah, well, that's really.
And Keith said there's not a man in Florida that uses the urinal, which
That's kind of true. I'm going to say
That's what Florida is for.
the thing that really intrigues me is the fact that he said naked into the woods. That's more like West Virginia. So I'm going to say not Florida.
I'm going to say Florida. I'm going to go with Florida.
I think this is a trick game, Sean. I think it's all not Florida.
Carl,
I'm changing
we
my
have no clue what it is. But Simon, when you're ready, we'd like to see the answer. Oh! He even gave like the city.
That's
and
Seminoles right there, baby.
I'm the big old 0 for
fuck them
3.
UM Canes.
0 for 3.
Canes.
Damn, I got one wrong. Shit.
Finally got mine. Yeah. Go Florida. And Tony, we know it was you, man. We know.
Go.
We know it's Tony.
All right, we have another one. All right, man dances on police car to summon help in vampire battle.
This is hard though because you don't know what song he was dancing to.
Right.
He's probably he was probably dancing like something like "It's Raining Men."
All right, I'm going to go with that. Florida.
Not Florida. Okay, right.
Dave, I want to know from you what song was he dancing to? I think we should add that to this.
Oh, Werewolf in London.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
All right, Ryan.
I say yes, Florida, and of course he was dancing to Thriller.
There you go.
Carl.
Well, the song is "Walk Like an Egyptian," and it's definitely Florida.
It's definitely Florida.
Sean, what do you got, man?
I'm going to stick with "It's Raining Men." Hallelujah, and I'm going to say it's in Florida.
I'm going to go with 99 lift balloons, not in Florida.
All right.
What, Simon? Where? I'm
still 0. I'm 0 for 4. I'm not good at this game.
I think you're giving Floridians way too much credit is the problem.
But I need to know: was he able to summon the vampires, like, or was he able to summon help? Like,
he was getting help to fight the vampires. The police showed up.
Simon, I want to know tomorrow. I want more information on this story. Like,
I totally know what the deal is on this. Is that I always quip, right, that I only have to be right 51% of the time. I've used all my right answers on MSP shit, so I'm totally wrong on this. all my business predictions are totally right, and so this stuff all wrong.
I think what we need to do is we just need to ask Dave when he's going to vote and just go the opposite of that.
Exactly.
I think we all win.
Totally go against me, and it's right.
If you choose B every time, you will at least get 25%. You know.
But Dave, why do we care? Like,
why do we care?
I love that.
All right, Simon, what do we got next, man? Man tries to rob store to prove his mom he's independent. I hate that this is not only probably Florida man, this is probably one of my neighbors. Like,
right.
Because I'm totally going with Florida for this one. Totally going
I think this is every Florida man.
Yeah. Like,
it's a rite of passage.
See, that's the thing, right?
To grow up, you got to do this.
Yeah, they call this Thursday.
Yeah, that he robbed a store, that's not surprising. Why he robbed the store, that's the story there. And
that's the thing. I think we need more backstory, right? Like, did he need Funyuns? Like, was he out of milk? Was he like looking for Sean's father? Like, we need to know the story.
Milk and cigarettes. It was Keith. It's Texas then. All right, so what are we going with? Who did anybody pick a city or not?
One says that was from Hialeah, and anybody in Florida knows. And Jason says, "I'm doing welcome. You're welcome at karaoke next time we hang." Fuck yes, we are. I'm in.
All right, so let's talk about what we have going on here. Carl, what do you think? Florida, not Florida?
Oh, totally. I'm going Florida. All Florida all the time.
I think that's Carl's only cue card is the
Okay, we have a qualifier here though. Danny's saying Cape Coral doesn't count. That's Gulf water. It's questionable. That shit messes with your head.
No.
I don't think he's wrong though.
It's still in Florida.
All right.
All right, so
go ahead, Carl. What do you got?
That's all that matters. What's it say on the postal address?
Right.
And we should say Dave says it is Florida. So Carl, what do you say?
Totally. The Cape
That's
is Florida.
It's Florida.
If Jimmy Buffett actually goes there, it's Florida.
Agreed. Okay,
You know,
so
30
Dave,
years
you're
ago,
saying
he used to
Florida?
go everywhere. Now he just goes to Florida.
Right.
Dave, you're saying Florida also?
I am. So you know you don't want to pick that.
That's correct. But I feel like the law of averages suggests that you're going to win one.
The weird thing is, it's not a 1 in 50 chance. It's a 1 in 2.
Right. But yet Dave sucks at this.
Right. I suck at this game.
Like I want to go play. Like I want to go gamble with Dave. Like
Right. Everything he picks, I'm picking the
he's gonna
opposite.
be like 50 on black. I'll be like 200 on red.
Right.
Done.
I'll be like 10,000 on red if it's Dave taking black.
I saw Dave play probably the most impressive hand of 21 I've ever seen in my life. Do you remember when you kept getting 2 aces and splitting them? And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And he won he had 5 of them and he won every one of them.
I was doing I split it enough to have like 5 hands. It was fucking amazing. And because I was going to laugh and go like, yeah, gambling?
Because
That's
it's
different.
hard
That's
to
different
play on
than
just
this
aces.
game.
It's hard
Right.
to play on just aces at 2 aces because you only got 2 points. Like
No, he would split the aces and they were like, told the manager, like, splitting aces.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
But the point is, I kept getting aces to split. Like I ended up doing this.
Getting
Like,
aces, and then he
I had
like
5 hands by the time
won
we were
them all.
done. Like I won them all.
There's only 7 decks, and somehow he had 21 aces. He's like, the
I had
math
all
doesn't
the
add up. They weren't checking his sleeves. Like,
all right,
That's a
so
long time ago.
Florida, Ryan, Florida.
Yes, very much.
I'm gonna agree with you guys. I think it's Florida also.
Oh, now I'm gonna have to change my vote.
Ray,
I'm gonna say not Florida because he ain't no scrub. A scrub is a guy that ain't gonna get no love from me. So he was trying to prove that he's not a scrub. That's not Florida.
Right.
That's
well, Simon, we're waiting. Take your time, no rush. We're only on a show. Thank you.
Hey.
I told you, Dave, you were due. All right, good job.
and I think that's a good spot to like call it a night. Sean, what do you think?
I agree. Do we have we want to say some parting words, and then we'll go through our upcoming events.
Yeah, Dave, Carl, Ryan, thank you so much for being part of this. Anything you want to say besides namaste? I'll get one more in because I haven't seen Carl dance on the table yet. Anything you want to say to our audience before we get going?
I just want to say thanks for having us. It's always good to be had.
The fact they still let us show up at places to make us very happy.
Right?
And we can't wait to do this in person. I want to say thank you to the hosts of the Killing It podcast. That's absolutely awesome. We thank you guys so much for being part of this. It's great. We'll kick you off. Simon, we have stuff coming up. What do we have coming up, Simon?
And now the end.
That is one of my not favorite songs, even though I love like the Rat Pack.
It's one of my favorite songs ever.
I just that in New York, not one of my favorites. Anyway, so we have coming up. We have March 31st, Technical Deficit, yours truly, solving the top 5 Cyber Drain CTF challenges featuring Kevin Talar. I fuck it up every time. Let's go with that.
Tegalar.
Listen, it's Kevin. Listen, Kelvin is fucking mastermind. He did Cyber Drain for the community, absolutely free. We sponsored it. It was amazing. Now we're going to solve those challenges live. Technical Deficit, episode 3. April 1st, Partner First, Making Magic with documentation featuring Hoodoo, which is making magic. That's their thing. April 8th, the Tech Bar featuring Matt Solomon. You saw him here tonight of ID Agent. April 12th at 2 o'clock Eastern, the Ultimate Customer Retention Blueprint for MSPs with ID Agent and OIT. That sounds a lot like a thing you'd do, right? Is that you or me?
I mean, yes.
Exactly. And April 20th, 420 MVP Growth Fest 2021, sponsored by OITVOIP and 14 other amazing vendors. Guys, Simon's going to put the link below. go.oit.co/MVP Growth Fest. Make sure you register. If you're one of the first 250, you can ask live to the Great One your own questions. Sean, anything you want to say?
The Great One's arguable because Marilyn Monroe was way better. But anyway, no.
Marilyn Monroe, is that what you just said?
I said thank you, everybody. It was great seeing you all. And it was so good winning Florida, not Florida. Somehow I know about Florida more than the guy who lives in Florida. Just want to point that out. But thank you all. Peace out, Girl Scouts.
Absolutely. From my head to my toes, from my smile to my eyebrows. We love you. Have a good night, OIT family. We'll see you in 2 weeks.